Crossover. Oh, killer crossover. Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com.
You can feel him boxing out.
He was getting ready.
Okay. So,
Hi, everybody.
This happened in Ames. It kind of happened in Sioux Falls. I heard it happen in Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
You contributed to what needs to be a one-day thing of 6-7 when you get to 67 points.
Yeah. Well,
you did your duty.
You think so?
I think so.
Now,
you had to.
Did you do it on your own, or was it
Yes.
a prior discussion?
I did it on my own.
You're awesome.
I went rogue.
Will you do it at non-kids games?
No.
I mean, there was a clamoring in the arena for it.
You did. It was a kids' game, and the kids were kidding, and you had to do what you had to do, and you did it. And
I knew what was happening. I'm aware,
and I commend you for it. Now, what was the actual call? Can you give us the call here? Because I didn't hear it. I just heard you did it.
Well, I just, they got, I think it was an and one layup. And,
by Kennedy Williams.
And then we went right into a media timeout afterwards. So it was perfect. And they had 67, and I saw what I saw, and I heard what I heard. And I was just like, you know what? Press the button. I go, 6-7.
you just said it.
Yeah. And then it then it really put people into a frenzy. Mm-hmm. Now, Friday for the kids' day at Creighton Volleyball, that one was more instigated by me. At the start, I was introducing myself. I said, hello, everyone. And, welcome to the Creighton, everybody's excited. And there's 1,100 kids there. And I said, we're going to get started in, I don't know, probably about 6 or 7 minutes or something like that.
Nice. They go crazy.
Yeah, they liked it.
Well,
they liked it.
I can't like to see reaction from teachers on this whole 6-7.
I think they're into it. I think the teachers are into it.
No way. There's no way.
They want to murder you.
I think they love it. They love it.
I thought you were like, the Cornhuskers lead the Lady Demons, 6-7.
Oh no. No.
Okay.
No. I didn't veil it at all.
You just went for it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That makes it even better.
Yeah. I've been doing it for 9 years now. I get a little carte blanche. Just you rock on there. You press that button whenever you want, Connor.
You've been doing it for 9 years.
9 years.
Wow.
9 years.
Good for you.
Been a long time. Seen a lot of different courts.
What do you think of? I'm in the camp of you either do the state outline or Herbie. You don't do both.
Oh, and they just have. Well, I guess they do have Herbie state outline. No, I like it. It's nice.
You like Herbie state outline?
Yeah, it's sharp in there.
Okay,
that's good. I like how it looks.
You get, you can get the 7, you can get the 10, but you cannot get them both. I'm just pick your lane.
Okay. Well, they went for the 7-10 split.
They did,
and they knocked them both down. Baby.
And there's red.
There's red. Breaking news.
The court was not black.
Dan
surprisingly,
is playing both of his bases. In case he ever wants to run for politics in the state, he's got it down to pat.
Do you think it's going to be tough for them to get the black paint out of the turf?
No.
Okay.
No. They have 3 weeks.
I don't know. It was a bold color. I'm like, I hope that comes out.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be fine. They have a whole turf crew now.
Yeah.
Wow.
They'll be able to sweep it right off.
Yeah.
Really?
One thing I know about Troy Dannon is he will spare no expense. And my boy loves spending the cash. And he's like, you know what? Let's put all the black on everything. Let's take it all off right away. If I got to pay extra money to do so, so be it. Money is no object.
According to them, it is. It is not.
It is not.
And then that's why they need to spend $1 billion on the stadium so they can get more
money. Money.
Have you guys discussed, now that we're past the red out or red on red and then the whole blackout, the message board post about let's do a cream out?
Somebody asked me about that.
Haven't discussed it.
I've
seen it.
I think it was Friday. Somebody asked me, have you heard about this cream out? And I said, excuse me, cream out? What are we talking about? And then I became aware of the message board post after that. Sounds awesome. I don't know that anybody has any cream, though.
No.
Sorry.
Nobody has any cream.
Full question. Do you have any cream?
Nobody has any cream.
But who's got a cream?
Sure.
Are the pants
I have a cream volleyball shirt.
No.
Are the pants
No,
are cream?
no, Nebraska's pants are white.
So you got to
Yeah.
go back to the
Nebraska
the
doesn't wear
helmets
cream.
back in the 90s. The
Yeah.
helmet it wasn't cream, but it was a different color white.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. What Nebraska basketball team consistently wears cream?
Well, Nebraska basketball wears cream
Yes,
actually
they do.
all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, maybe I got bad.
Nebraska
I can't
football
tell.
is never creamed.
Not that
right.
I can recall.
They've never creamed themselves.
Well, there was that
Well,
game.
Saturday.
There was that game
Jeez,
against Texas in
Josh.
02. Oh, wait a minute. They were in. Okay.
I can't recall a time in which
They creamed out.
maybe they had some alternate jerseys somewhere along the way that were cream.
No, because the Damian Jackson one was all white.
What was the last time you saw like a true cream colored jersey in football? Is cream really a color in
Yeah,
football?
well, Tampa says they do the creamsicles, but those are white.
Those
Yeah.
are white and
Yeah.
orange. No, that's
Yeah.
the creamsicle is just based off of the ice cream item, not based off of the color.
Yeah, it's like a sherbet.
It is a sherbet.
That's what they
It's
should
a
call
white-
them. They
it's
should
a-
call them the
Does
sherbet.
It's a
the
white
Bucks have
sherbet.
their cream jersey.
Who's got it?
The Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
because
not-
they're Cream City.
Yeah.
See, and
Mhm.
and the St. Louis Cardinals have, and I hate the Cardinals, but they have that awesome cream colored home jersey that they'll wear occasionally.
Yeah, I don't think it worked in football.
Nebraska
don't
baseball wears cream.
But I'm talking about football. Who was the last creamed football team?
I don't think that Nebraska has ever worn cream for football. I know it's the scarlet and the cream.
Arizona had those weird jerseys where they had like the Jackson Pollock paintings on them, and that looked a little creamy.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of different stuff going on there.
There's a
Trying to-
lot of.
trying to figure out our next blackout game will happen against.
Oh, well, we don't know who's playing what and where.
Well, we do know the schedule.
We know the schedule, but we don't know when
No.
next year. Who's Nebraska got at home next year? Check that out.
Everybody.
Ohio.
Yeah, I know.
Ohio State.
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green. I know they
North
got Bowling
Dakota.
Green. Yeah.
Indiana.
So Nebraska gets
Maryland.
Indiana, Maryland, Ohio State, Washington.
Maryland.
At
Do it
home
for
next
the
year.
Maryland game.
Why?
Just get a win.
Oh, come on. Enough with this crap.
All right, do it for Ohio State then.
Yes, blow it out.
That's easy.
Ohio State does
By the way,
blackouts, not
was
as
it-
well as Nebraska.
Was it blackout week in
Ohio State? Yeah.
Ohio State had a
And-
blackout?
But they wore their red jerseys.
Didn't Minnesota have
Yeah.
Minnesota had a
Minnesota wore the
blackout?
black- yeah.
Nebraska had a blackout.
Tennessee.
Now
Iowa copied Nebraska.
Tennessee had a blackout.
Tennessee went super blackout. Yeah.
There's this called
Houston had a blackout, but that was
Like
for
night dark mode. or-
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. Houston had a blackout, but that was for different reasons as to why it wasn't just like a, hey, we want to wear black. They were honoring a strength coach.
Okay.
Their strength coach unfortunately passed away.
Oh.
So they were doing that in honor of him.
I think
little
Nebraska all sports, because ironically Friday night the black shorts showed up in Madison for volleyball.
Ooh.
Nice.
Names on the back.
I like the all black uniform.
Mhm.
I was at the first game that a Nebraska athletic team wore all black. Hilton Coliseum, Danny Nee, early 90s. They play Iowa State and they come out in all black.
Was there a hush over the crowd?
It was odd to see because they'd never
done it
they were just
before?
white.
The year that
Had they
year that-
done like a black top before?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Nope. They
Oh,
had never,
wow.
They'd never worn a full black uniform.
the year that Petaway and Grant Gibbs fought, Nebraska had those ugly black jerseys, and
Yes.
Creighton was wearing
Yes.
their ugly gray jerseys. It was just a bad time. They got it right, I think, with that now with the blue
yeah.
versus the red.
Yes.
I think that's an every year deal. Now
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great visual.
it looks incredible.
But Dave Van Horn,
1 month from today, Nebraska Creighton basketball.
really?
I believe
Whoa.
December 4th, or is it December
was the
7th
7th.
this year? Maybe it's December 7th.
Because
They're-
it was
Check
going to
the
be after
sketch.
Nebraska played in the Big Ten championship game.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're still wearing black for Iowa, right? They got to be, right?
Who?
Nebraska? No.
No. Okay.
No.
Against a team that black is their
No.
color?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, they're going to go back to their normal uniform.
Yeah, it's a one-off. It's cool. Yeah, December 7th. Sorry, 4:00. Creighton, Nebraska this year. No, Nebraska's not gonna wear black against Iowa. Are you crazy?
Well, they did in 20.
No, they didn't.
No.
Nebraska has never worn black against Iowa, nor
Oh,
will they
no.
ever.
Wait. I thought there was a year.
You are wrong about this.
I am wrong.
Yep.
I don't care.
It's okay. It's okay. By the way, text from Jasker Todd.
Hi, Jay Skirton.
6-7 was banned at my kid's school, so now they say 4-1.
4-1.
41. They love to say 41 now. I think they're changing the numbers because the olds have caught on to this.
Yeah.
And the olds are trying to kill it with saying it.
So should we be ahead of the game and we'll just go 4-1?
But I don't know what the
4-1.
hand signal is. I don't know what
Yeah, you can't do the same 6-7 because people get confused.
You got to do something different.
So what happens in his ask Jay Skirtad, what happens if his kid says 6-7? Does he like
expulsion?
Seems kind of
I've seen online that kids are being made to write, threatened with a 67-page paper.
wow. Imagine if your kid came home and said, Mom, Dad, I'm in trouble.
I've been punished. I have to
Why?
write a 67-page paper because I said 6-7 and I did these weird hand signals.
All right, son, come here. Chat GPT. 67-page paper. Let's go.
Yep. So I apologize for inciting riots over the weekend, but I felt I hadn't played to the crowd. I'm an entertainer after all. And
Had
that's
them eating out of the palm of your hand.
That's what we did. Stib says kids are geniuses. Just keep saying numbers until they literally can't teach math in school anymore. That's right. That's the end of this.
God.
They just cancel math because they did all the numbers.
Go back and be an elementary student kid right now with everything you know. We'd be dangerous.
Kids,
so
what's
dangerous.
what's 3 times 7? 37. All right. Can't do that anymore. What's 3 times 7? 21. 21. Can't do 21 anymore.
And people are wondering why
21 was already a meme, though.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the prime of middle school actually when that was going on.
Middle school. I think I was in college.
I think it was on my second mortgage.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. Why did I think that?
I don't know. I don't
just
know.
think
You don't need to search.
Have you heard? Have you heard
but
about
I'm
the?
trying to think of they wore it against Illinois, the black jerseys. I believe.
They did,
but
do
not
that.
black on black.
No. That's where I got confused.
Well, they
because
wore it
I
against
had I don't know
UCLA.
why I'm
Black
I don't know
jerseys
why I thought
2011
that.
UCLA, black jerseys 2020 Illinois, black jerseys for an Indiana game, I think, in there somewhere. Yeah.
That was a Noah Vedral.
Yes. Not a great success rate on the black uniforms, but that won't stop them. We have to not care about optics anymore.
I did like. I saw quite a few outside of the USC jerseys. Quite a few people that were wearing those black jerseys that they had for that UCLA game.
Oh yeah. Man.
I almost stopped somebody because one person was wearing a Martinez jersey. So I'm thinking, that was the year.
So 2 or 3?
So they had 2.
Okay.
So I was
Interesting.
like, okay.
There's a whole generation of kids out there who Adrian Martinez is their favorite and best Husker player. Could you imagine?
Wow.
Could you?
You're looking at one.
Did you see it? Wow. Wow.
There hasn't really been a player that's been as good as him on the offensive end for me.
Yeah. I guess you weren't really around for Amir Abdullah. You were like 12.
I would know.
So when Adam Devine goes on House Rules and names his Mount Rushmore of Husker players, these are all just ghosts to you.
No, stop it.
No,
I'm
but
aware
like,
of. I am very keenly aware of the history of the team.
Yes, absolutely. But you never.
What did he say?
You never saw it. He said
I saw them.
It was all '90s guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Didn't he say Brooke Behringer?
It was Tommy, Brooke, Amon
Yeah, but
Green.
he said it wrong.
And
No Sue?
I watched Amir Abdullah play for Nebraska. I watched these guys play for Nebraska. It's just I wasn't rooting for Nebraska. I didn't care about Nebraska at the time. I didn't know, hey, in 6 years you're going to end up going to that university.
I still see a lot of 3s around. There was a couple kids yesterday who were doing one of the games and they had 3 football jerseys on.
Okay.
So maybe they've been taught the many splendors of Taylor Martinez.
Remember when they had the restrictions that you could only get jersey number 1 or the year of the season?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So like when 15 rolled around, that was a big year for jerseys.
Yes. And everybody, that was wearing 1, you thought, hey, maybe that's Thunder Collins. You're a big Thunder Collins fan.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Crouch was the 4th guy that I didn't remember.
Crouch.
Wow. Okay.
Eric Crouch.
What would be since you started following Nebraska football, your Mount Rushmore of Husker players?
Oh God, this is a terrible conversation.
So when can
2020? 2020.
Oh my
2020.
God.
2020 was like the first year where I was like, I'm rooting for them because 2019 I followed the team because I I was like, hey, I'm a prospective student.
Yeah.
I should know, what they look like and whatnot. But 2020 was the first year where I was like, go Huskers.
Okay.
So
this ought to be. This is.
Yeah, I'm
very
curious.
interesting.
What do you got?
number 1 would be Trey Palmer.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Number 2 would be Samori Toure.
Oh my god.
Number 3 would be Adrian Martinez. And number 4 would be JoJo Doman.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I love
JoJo.
I love JoJo.
Oh.
I love JoJo Doman. JoJo Doman, like talk about like Matt's guys. JoJo Doman.
JoJo Doman, the long snapper.
No, safety.
He did. He was trying to be an NFL long snapper.
Good for JoJo.
Yep.
I love JoJo.
I don't know if this is a good or a bad list.
It's bad. I can
How
tell you
does
that.
Samori Toure get on there?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, over the last 5 years, I mean,
What do you mean? Samori Toure was I've told you about this. I watch his highlights when I get drunk, which is mainly just like the Ohio State game.
He was pretty good. He was a pretty good player.
He was a pretty good player.
You take him over, let's say Ty?
See, Ty, if we're talking, look, are you talking about like the best players I've seen or the ones I like the most?
Okay,
Because there's
you
a
have to-
difference.
Okay, so like the most, your list makes sense.
Like the most that's my now. If we're doing Mount Rushmore of best players that I've seen don the Nebraska football jersey,
be a challenge.
it would
as
be
well.
Adrian Martinez. It would be Ty Robinson. It would
Yeah,
be
but Adrian Martinez post 2020 was kind of bad.
Yeah, but I mean there wasn't really much else to go after. Ty Robinson, Cam Taylor-Britt,
This is horrible.
and Trey Palmer.
All right.
Yeah, probably Palmer, Robinson,
What about Dedrick Mills? About
maybe.
Anthony Grant?
No, God, no, not Anthony Grant.
Jeff Sims?
No,
Chuba?
no, not Bryce Benhart. Or
Alex Bullock?
not Trent Hickson, or
Turner Corcoran has been
still
on the
there,
team
still
longer
here.
than-
Teddy Prohaska, same thing.
Turner Corcoran predates you caring about Nebraska football.
Yes,
He's
it
been on the
really
team
does.
ever since then.
I
So-
remember they got Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, and I was like, all right, this might be a good pickup.
Well-
Oh, look at Josh Fleeks. He's from Baylor. He's played some football.
He had that nice run in the Michigan game,
Yeah, he did.
that one touchdown.
Yeah, remember Nebraska was going to get shut out?
Garcia Castaneda had the Northwestern game in 2022.
I
and,
thought-
then
He
Tore
was
his ACL.
still, like,
I thought Marquise Stepp was going to be a really big deal.
oh, Marquise Stepp, good one.
yeah. What about O'Shawn Mathis?
Yeah,
That was a big. That was my O'Shawn was a big deal for me
probably
because
like Eric Gilbert.
but O'Shawn was like the first year I was like in the media. Like that was like my first media year was O'Shawn Mathis's year. So
Okay.
that was because I wasn't in the media for 20 or 21.
Cam Jurgens, Headley says. What about Cam Jurgens?
Yeah, Cam. Oh, Cam would probably Cam would be on the Mount Rushmore of best players.
Steve
Probably.
Jurgy.
But yeah.
Wow. You're right. We're losing a whole generation.
Yes.
No, seriously. When I talk to you guys from a place of like they haven't done a lot for like kids who are my age who have gone to school there. I'm not joking. This is what we've had to deal with.
But Dylan Raiola would probably have to be on your list.
Not yet.
Will Emmett Johnson get on your list? before Dylan?
You know what?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Emmett Johnson's got to be on there.
I don't think Emmett yet would be better than Ty or well, I don't know. If Emmett ends up being like first or second team All Big Ten running back, then he would easily get on the list.
Mhm.
But we also would be talking about
Luke
like,
Lindenmeyer.
no.
Not,
like-
not yet.
Nate
Not yet.
Bowrick.
Like Ty Robinson actually had like 2 years of being a good football player. Like a really good football player. Cam Taylor-Britt had 2 years of
Oh, there you go. Cam Taylor-Britt.
being a really good football player.
Mhm.
Like I think Adrian and Trey would probably be the ones who would get cut out quicker.
This is sad. This
This has turned into a very.
Do you
depressing conversation.
respect me more now that I've had to deal with this and I have the passion that I have? Because I don't really have
do I
anything.
respect you more?
Because I don't really like joy for Husker football is really just a hypothetical for me.
I think a lot of people would say the same at
Like,
this point.
hypothetically, Husker football is supposed to make me happy. It's never done it before.
Yeah, you've been in it. But like also I think there was also some struggles before that.
Oh,
and then there was
yes.
lots of
Yes.
different kinds of struggles before that. You know, a lot of people have this institutional knowledge of Nebraska being a very nationally relevant program. And then they had to go through the times in which they weren't, but they were still like a top 25 team for a long time, and they would just blow it on the big stage.
Yeah,
and
no,
all that
no.
stuff.
There has been I'm aware of the pain. I know that the pain predates my existence.
Right. There was pain before this pain, but this is a different pain.
This has been a weird pain. Like, Husker basketball has brought me more joy than.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, they beat the number 1 team in the country on the home court, and I was at that game. They beat the number 6 team in the country, and I stormed the court.
They made a tournament.
The K-State
Nebraska made a bowl. Making a bowl is like making a tournament.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Making
No,
a bowl
it's
is
not.
just as easy as making the tournament.
No, it isn't. You have to be. You just
6 wins.
You just have to. Yeah,
6.
making the tournament is way harder than getting 6 wins in college football. It's way more. You have to be at
So
like
how
the.
many bowl games are there? 40,
Yeah, so
48?
oh, it's like
44?
60 teams have a bowl, right?
But you
Like,
can't
it's
go
like
500 in basketball and make the tournament. You can go 500 in football and make a bowl game.
yeah, but
There's-
you should already like at the start of a basketball season, you should be like 10-0 every year.
But there's 3, and yet there are teams who go 500 and yet they don't make the tournament.
right, but they shouldn't.
But what I'm telling you though is that there's
Like-
there's 300.
What was
there's-
the percentage of SEC teams that made the NCAA tournament last year? 100.
Okay, but you're going off of last year. I'm going off of all.
What was the
time. It is
percentage? What's the percentage of a Big Ten team every single year? Their chances to
Nebraska-
make the tournament? It's
Nebraska-
like what? 9 out of 4,
Nebraska
9 out of 16.
football? Nebraska basketball had
It's
two.
half. It's the same.
Nebraska basketball had to get 2 top 10 wins. Okay. In order to barely make the tournament, like make the tournament as like one of the higher up seeds, right? If Nebraska football were to beat 2 top 10 teams, they would be in like elite territory in terms of making bowl games.
Yeah, but
there's
like
there's difference.
That's too binary. That's too, like
Well, that's what you're going
Just
off of.
look at the percentage.
Okay,
of
if we're going off the percentage, there's 40 bowl games.
Let's just say like I don't know what the number is. How many teams make a bowl?
There would be like
I think there's 86.
So
80
let's do this. What is the percentage of Big Ten teams that make a bowl on a rolling yearly average? Would you say it's half or greater than half, or like a little
9.
greater than half?
So let's say 9 of 18.
I think it's the same thing in basketball.
I don't think that at all.
Don't 9 or 10 teams make the NCAA tournament in basketball every
But
year?
at the same time, though, you're making like a bowl game that like the 9th team, right? That makes that bowl game,
Yeah.
right? They're playing in like the Camellia Bowl. They're playing in like a crappy bowl game that you're probably not going to hang that banner.
There
Or
are
if you
8
go-
bowls
but
with
if-
Big Ten affiliation.
If you go to a bowl game in the Big Ten and you're the 8th team, right? You don't have a chance at winning a national title. Okay.
Yeah, but you don't have a chance of winning a national title.
But you could
just
go to the
from-
Sweet
just
16.
by making the
You go to the
tournament.
Elite 8. We have all these teams that make these massive runs and upsets in the NCAA tournament.
But all I'm saying is make the tournament or make a bowl. It's not like how far you advance or
Winning,
your
you have
chance
to win
for upward mobility.
You have to win 4 power 4 games in football.
You got to go 500 in conference.
No, you have to win 4 power 4 games as a football team to make a bowl. If you're making the NCAA tournament, you have to go above 500 easily, like go 12-8 or 13-7.
All
in
I'm
the Big
saying
Ten
is
to make a tournament.
Making a tournament in basketball ain't that hard.
Yeah, if you're from the Creighton perspective, yeah. But if you're a guy like me that's had to watch Northwestern basketball and Nebraska basketball, it is hard making the tournament.
Yeah, but I don't care about that.
Okay, well, I'm going off
It's just
of my
making it or
experiences.
not making it.
You have 80 teams that make a bowl game out of 126 teams in the country. Okay, 126 teams.
Is it 80
or 136 teams and 80 teams make a bowl? You have over 300 teams in the NCAA that are available to make the tournament, and only 68 of them make it. From a percentage perspective, it's a way lower percentage of teams in basketball that make the tournament over teams that make bowl games in football.
But what about Power 5? What about high major?
You're
pretty much guaranteed to make the tournament if you just have a pulse.
That's not true. That is not true at all.
You don't have to be very good to make the NCAA tournament.
There were 18 teams in the Big Ten that could have made the tournament last year. There were 8 of them that made the tourney. Okay, last year, was a really good. Last year was a really good year for the SEC. If you're in the ACC, you had 3 teams make it.
Like 2 or 3 of them didn't even make the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
Hey, but the year before they made it as a 3 seed. Let's be fair.
That's right.
Yeah, they did not sneak into the conference tournament 2 years ago, Matt.
Who?
Nebraska was a 3 seed. Remember they made it to the semifinals?
Yeah. It is way harder to make the NCAA tournament.
For some. I guess. I mean, if that's the route you want to go, that's fine. I just don't think it's that hard for most teams.
It is such a lower percentage of teams.
You are letting the fact that Nebraska has 2 NCAA tournament appearances in the last 15 years cloud your judgment here.
No, I'm not.
Nebraska,
you are allowing the fact that Creighton basketball consistently makes the NCAA tournament very consistently cloud your judgment here.
Look at the teams that have made the tournament. Everyone does it more than one team.
But the Big East, right, only gets 3 teams in their conference, right? The ACC got 3 teams and only should have had 2 teams in their conference last year. If you are in a certain conference, you from the get-go, unless you have an insane November, are screwed. That's why Creighton had a low seed last year. Creighton had a low seed last year because they were much better than the 8th seed that they got. But the reason they got an 8th seed was because
they got a 9.
Even better. They got a 9 seed, even though they were way better than that, because they did not play well in November, and that hampered them. And even though that they tore through the Big East, they still had a lower seed. That's tough. That's really, really tough. Where in football, if you have a bad September, you can rally and have a really, really good October and November and still make a bowl game. Where if you had a bad November and you're in the Big East, it's hard to rally and make the tournament.
Big East got 5 in last year. Big Ten got 8 in last year.
In the NCAA basketball tournament.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you're in the ACC and you had a bad November, you don't think it was really hard to rally and to make the...
I don't care how hard it is.
That's what we're talking about.
That's
exactly
about
what we're talking about.
The percentage of teams.
Then I win that too.
I don't understand. I just gave you the figures. The Big Ten, half the Big Ten makes a bowl. Half the Big Ten makes the NCAA
That's
tournament.
Not true. Half the Big Ten makes the bowl and that's 9, and 8 teams in the Big Ten made the tournament. That's less than half.
That is exactly half, right? There's 16 teams in the Big Ten now, or 8? Is there 8?
Okay, but now? still, you have a higher percentage of teams making a bowl game than you do have the NCAA tournament.
I don't understand how it's it's not that difficult.
The state, I disagree.
Right.
I think that over a very long college basketball season, it is harder to string together important wins and not falter than it is to win 4 Power 4 games in football.
SEC got 14 in.
And they won the national championship.
14.
I know.
14 of them. They didn't have to do anything.
Probably got 14 teams making a bowl game in the SEC too, because they're only playing 8 conference games.
You go 500 in the Big Ten. What does that get you?
What sport?
Well, I guess you can't in football. You can go either 4-5 or 5-4. Either way, you can make a bowl game off of that. In the NCAA, in college basketball, you go 500 in the Big Ten. You're in, baby. You are in.
I think it's hard to make a tournament.
You are in.
You cannot. Also, too,
9 SEC teams are bowl eligible right now.
What you're forgetting as well, though, is that you just need a number of wins for college football. In college basketball, that's not true. It's not about the number of wins. It's about the quality of wins. If you go 10-10 in the Big Ten, but you only have 1 Q1 win, right? That's going to be hard for you to get into the NCAA tournament. They hold that against you. Mm-hmm. They don't hold that against you when you qualify for a bowl. It does not matter who you beat. If you just get to 6, you're in a bowl.
But all right, okay, you are right. Of course, you are correct.
That's a valid argument.
No, it is. I don't want to continue down this road necessarily because we're just talking ourselves in circles at this point. I think.
Poll question up at Happer Show. What's harder, making a bowl game, making the NCAA tournament? They're the same thing.
That's an option. We don't usually do third options.
We don't.
Well, we don't celebrate bowl appearances around here anymore. We just celebrate NCAA basketball appearances.
Also, too, Nebraska football didn't make a bowl game when I went to college. They made a tournament when I went to college. That's why Nebraska basketball.
That's
gave me
wild
more.
To hear out loud.
Whoa, yeah.
They
That
didn't
hits
go to
the
bowl
ear in a
game
very odd
while
way.
you were in college.
Yeah, they didn't go to one. They went to a tournament.
So are you willing
Won
to
3
admit maybe
national
your
titles when I was in school.
worldview is a little clouded by
I think yours
By
is,
the
as long as
Nebraska.
you're willing to admit yours is too.
maybe a little bit?
Are you angry at Nebraska football? Because
I get
I think you
angry
have the
at
right
them.
to be,
I
yeah.
don't think I'm perpetually angry. Look, I've gone through a lot of crap, and still I'm hoping that they can pull it off. I'm now a Tiffy. Everybody's got to be a Tiffy. I'm a Tiffy.
Everybody's got to be a Tiffy.
We have to be a TV.
We must be Tiffys.
I don't think you have to be a TV,
Okay.
but you have to accept it.
I'm rooting for the kid. I'm not a TV.
Yeah.
You got to be a Tiffy, Josh.
I don't think because I think the Tifis now are like, he's the main guy.
I'll tell you what, though, he rattles off 140-yard run. I'm a TV.
What if Mr. Teef wins 2 out of 3?
Do you think he'll speak today?
No, not a
probably.
chance. Not
He's
a
got.
chance.
What do you mean not a chance? He's got to.
Got to protect the kid.
He's the quarterback.
He did. Did he speak after Akron? Or Houston
Probably off
Christian?
to the side.
Yeah, like he was in the championship center. They're like, okay, you just stay over here. You're in this special room.
Mm.
I think he would probably talk today.
I think so, too.
Dylan talk today.
No.
I don't
God,
think
no.
so.
I bet Dylan wants to talk, but
When's his surgery? It's got to be today, right? Or like
Probably pretty soon.
Yeah. He's got to get ready.
I would make it today so that he couldn't talk. Like, because, yes, he'll be wandering around that facility like, hey, you want to talk? Hey, you want to talk to me? You
I
want
don't
to
know
talk to
what
me?
he would say. I mean, what are you going to say? How's it feel?
he'll probably just be like, I'm going to support TJ. I love TJ. TJ's great. TJ.
Yeah.
I'm here for TJ.
Yeah.
I'm TJ's best friend. TJ's cool. TJ's dope.
He's the
TJ
best.
can do it.
I love him.
His offensive line is great. I love all those guys. They're going to protect TJ.
I guess he doesn't have to talk now. Thank you, Dylan.
Thank
That's
you,
all he said.
Dylan.
Thank you.
I could do
Dylan.
I could have done the 27-minute rule press conference yesterday. I mean, on my bingo card, it said, quote a book. It's always there. He's always quoting books, man. He does a lot of reading.
Do you think that Rule, of his 3 major appearances every week, because we'll throw out Thursday, Mondays with us, McAfee, or his own podcast, which one does he enjoy the most? Because he can kind of control
Probably
things
his
on Monday.
podcast.
Yeah, that would be my answer. But
podcast?
McAfee's a close second.
I've never listened to him on the podcast or on McAfee's show.
He looks very happy in the
the
videos
visual
that I
looks
don't
great.
turn the sound
visual
on.
looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's got a great camera.
I think he can control the conversation more on Mondays.
Probably.
Because he's set up with questions and he can steer it. Like he can on his own podcast, but he's having more guests on his podcast now. Oh, he had Portnoy on.
Yeah, and the Adam Devine guy he's great.
Do you wish Adam Devine was more popular?
I just don't get it.
He was in Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect 2.
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
I like
do you
those
think
shows.
that we'll get an Adam Devine versus Will Compton battle to see who is the
Source.
biggest Husker
source.
fan? Like not in Nebraska?
I don't think Rule's calling up Adam Devine and giving him tips, but he is for Will, obviously.
But no, would Devine have more of a claim though, because he's been a Husker fan longer than Compton? I mean, Compton played here. Devine grew up a fan. I don't know.
Whose teeth are the realest?
I think Adam Devine's. All right. That's a crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It is Tuesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone.
A beautiful Tuesday ahead as we'll see mostly sunny skies, a little breezy at times with south wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour, highs around 70. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. I'm back, and I'm never, ever leaving again. Josh.
It's not true when you know it.
That is not true, but I am back. So that part is true.
Yeah. That's all we really care about.
How was Michael? I didn't listen to any of the shows.
Wow, rude. Michael was great. A lot of stat. Yesterday was basically an extension of Big Red Overreaction.
Yeah, and get ready because I guess today is probably going to be that too. I haven't really given my thoughts on the game.
No, I mean like yesterday it was like the highest volume of callers the 10 to 12 slot is seen. 10 to 2 slot is seen in years.
People love talking to Michael.
They do.
If you're trying to get callers, have Michael.
They were people I've never heard from in the years we've done this show.
Gosh. Michael, he's just been around. People call Michael. They want to ask Michael questions.
He's their radio friend.
When people call me, they say things to me. When people call Michael, they ask him things, which is probably
yes,
that's probably because I'm an idiot and Michael is smart. But
he was also very
the dumbness is back.
Yes, it is because I'll be talking more. He was very concerned sitting there that he could not see me.
I could see, as I always say, I could see your mouth. That's it. That's how I gauge reaction.
He wouldn't go over there,
uh-huh.
which is fine. It's his choice, his prerogative.
Yeah, it's there's certain challenges they have to navigate through every day, like making a bowl game and making the NCAA tournament.
Baseball, not an utterance of baseball.
Oh my God. So you guys haven't talked about how awesome those baseball games were at all?
I mean,
those games were so good.
People got great joy out of watching me watch Game 7 of the World Series on Big Red Overreaction Saturday night.
They were oh yeah. That was so yeah, it probably ended as you guys were on the air.
It did.
Oh my.
Will Smith hit a home run while we were on the air.
Well, I wanted to start watching the Husker game when I got back from the Creighton game on Saturday night. Of course, predictably Creighton goes 5. I was like, I'm going to get out of here at 9. We'll get back to watch the second half or like the end of the game. And then, we could kind of piece it together from there. Instead, the game is completely over at that point. And then we're geared up. It's like the 8th inning of the World Series Game 7. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to watch this. It goes to the 11th, and so I'm like dual screening the end of the World Series and the Nebraska game and all that stuff. We got there, and so here we are on a Tuesday in November. Allan Bell will join the show coming up at 11:30, and that is our lineup today, powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Tomorrow, our dear friend Frank Caliendo will join the show.
That is correct.
He
1 o'clock
is back. We're going to talk about sandwiches and the Jays and whatever else we come across. I heard he's got some stuff. He's got some content coming with Creighton.
There is rumored content dropping today.
Rumored,
because I
don't
know.
Who does Josh hear these things from? Who knows?
Who does anyone hear for anything from?
Exactly.
Just trying to not get my access taken
You'd
away.
be a fool to reveal any sources anywhere, things like that. So that's today, but that's tomorrow. But today is today. And today we'll talk to Allan Bell. We'll have NFL reaction, overreaction. We'll have Josh's bottom 5 of something coming up today as well. Want to hear from you all? 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You can call or text that number. Tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor, Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers today. Good to have everybody in the chat. Good to see everybody. Missed you all. And here we are. We are back. I have to give some thoughts on the football game from Saturday night. Did you see the blackout?
I did.
It was incredible. Great job. Great job by Nebraska.
Good job, everyone.
And then some bleep hit the fan. This could be the whole timeout field goal, the whole double timeout field goal drive that Nebraska had. This could be the longest stretching situation alert. I mean, the game was on Saturday. And I still want to talk about it because I feel like there's fresh new angles to it on Tuesday.
That is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Matt Rule talked about it yesterday, kind of gave an explanation, but didn't really give an explanation. Talked a lot about pumping the clock, things like that. So, yeah, I'd like to talk about it still, and I'd like to ask a bigger picture question. Does Matt Rule need some help with the game management stuff? We'll dive into that as we go on throughout the show today. Like I said, sorry I've been gone. I've been saying 6-7 to incite riots with children over the last couple days, but the kids' days are over for
the
now.
whole year.
I think so. Until baseball season comes around.
Okay, I mean that's fine.
Then there will be like one more kids' day, but I won't have like I'll be on a broadcast probably at that point, so I won't be like saying it in a public address situation. So that's probably good, and maybe 6-7 will be dead by then.
Who can only hope?
Knows. There are certain things I'm excited about with TJ Lateef being the starter.
Oh,
we'll dive into those things. What happens with Dylan? Yesterday was basketball opening day. Did you miss it? I can't believe I was gone on the opening day of basketball.
Yeah.
I love college basketball, Josh. I can't imagine there was any conversation about college basketball yesterday in the show.
Michael didn't even know.
For shame.
I said, hey, Michael, what to watch? Omaha basketball is playing right now. And he said, oh, like an exhibition? No, these games count.
A real game on YouTube yesterday.
That's
the
right.
Same place where the Connor Happer show lives. That's right. We share networks. All right. So that is the setup for today's show. We are pleased that you're with us. We'll try to pick up the pieces and talk about all the things football and non-football as we continue on. It's Tuesday on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Don't forget to get your picks in for four-quarter pick'em for this week. Everyone should have them available right now. But if you're smart, you would be signed up for 1620 the email and you'd have access to them yesterday. Rumor is I still suck at four-quarter pick'em.
That's too bad.
I actually don't know how it turned out this past week, but I'm just assuming, given the history, not very well.
It's a rough history.
I stink at four-quarter pick'em. I didn't watch Monday Night Football last night because YouTube TV.
Same.
What is the deal with this crap?
If the Cowboys on Monday Night Football couldn't get everyone to reach an agreement, we might be in this for the long haul.
What in the world is going on?
And they're like, I won four-quarter pick'em.
And they're like, oh, if it's gone for a whatever period of time, we'll give you $20 back. $20 back. You know what YouTube TV costs these days? It's like $1 million.
And whichever side, quote unquote, loses this fight is going to raise their price. So
my other option is to go back to cable at this point. Now the conspiracy is this is a conspiracy that I believe in with YouTube TV. Basically, this whole thing is just a ploy to get people over to Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu or the new ESPN app that nobody has.
Right. But why would I have both of those things? I'm not going to uproot. People don't understand. I don't know what these cable companies. Now we've gotten more nimble. Obviously, people, they switch from cable provider to cable provider. They turn on their subscriptions. They turn off their subscriptions. They've made it pretty user friendly in that way. So we have gotten a little bit more nimble. But for me, as a child of cable, changing your television provider is basically the uprooting your life. It's like moving, Do I really want to? No. So they know that I'm just going to stick it out. I'm just going to sit here and not have ESPN. My quad box was so sad on Saturday.
Sad quad box.
It was the worst quad box I've ever seen. And then last night I was like, all right, let's see if it's back. I hadn't heard anything about it being back, so I didn't have high hopes. And I go to turn on the Monday Night Football game. It's not there. So I just didn't watch Monday Night Football last night. I just sat there. What was I supposed to do? There was the end of a St. John's basketball game on, and then they turned it to Michigan versus Oakland. And I thought, this is my life now. I love college basketball and everything. So, it was on in the background, but I would have probably rather been watching Monday Night Football and the Cowboys getting wrecked, apparently, on Monday Night Football.
Apparently.
Apparently that happened.
This is how dire these times are.
I had to watch Michigan versus Oakland last night.
I found myself saying, and this really hurts me to say,
Josh is emotional.
Everybody's emotional. JJ Watt.
Oh man.
Good take, JJ Watt.
Could you believe he said that? You said that out loud?
Yeah. Ugh. This man had bars.
What did he have? What did he
Twitter
say?
Last night? He's rich, and keep in mind,
what did he say?
He's rich. He said, I want to get the wording just right. So we're just not watching Monday Night Football, huh? I'm not buying another streaming subscription. The crazy part is I have ESPN Plus. I have YouTube TV. I can't watch the game.
I have it all.
Yeah.
Should be able to watch it. And they're like, we'll give you $20 back.
If it goes on long enough.
I don't want my $20 back. I want my YouTube TV. I want my ESPN. I want my opportunities to watch Scott Van Pelt at night.
Jeopardy. I can't watch Jeopardy because I don't have ABC.
I can't watch David Muir. You can't watch David Muir.
No David Muir.
I am David Muir. Many people have died.
What if someone dies? Someone die this morning.
Definitely has died, and David Muir would be there to tell you about it, but he can't. Imagine his audience. It's probably nobody outside of the people with cable. So shout out to the people with cable who just stuck with cable through all these years. I finally gave in, but now I'm regretting my decision because I got in at YouTube TV and it costs like $40 a month. And I'm like, how was I not doing this? And the streaming capabilities are good and like it doesn't buffer and all this stuff. We got past all that. I'm like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy that I made my decision to go to YouTube TV. And now it costs double, like 2.5 times that. And I don't even have most of the channels that I want to watch. I have like the worst channels. I have the sports package, the extra stuff, and so I have like everything but MLB Network, basically.
I got three different Lifetime movie channels.
I wake up on Saturday morning and they're telling me, YouTube TV is telling me to watch boats or something like that. Something about boats. You're like, would you like to watch this documentary about boats? And I'm like, no, I want to watch the SEC. I want to watch football. But that was not an option. That was not an option. And it was very, very sad. So stay tuned for Josh's bottom 5 of something later on to hear more about YouTube TV.
That's right.
Can't wait. I'd like to ask this question regarding. So I've had a chance to just kind of sit back, and I guess I've had a little takes. I've done podcasts over the last couple of days about Nebraska football. Sorry.
Interesting.
The podcast takes 30 minutes, in the morning before I have to do stuff.
We could just do 30 minutes and replay it for 4 hours.
No, we can't. No,
I don't think anyone would notice.
No,
Connor.
we can't do that, Josh. So I've had a chance to just kind of sit back and, Nebraska loses a football game that there was a lot of hype for, and their quarterback gets hurt, and it was an emotional week last week with the whole extension thing and how the news got broken and people being angry, and then the game happened, and there's always that and the reaction to that, and then one of my dear friends went on the internet afterwards and said Nebraska football is a waste of time. And then people got really, really, it was an emotionally charged weekend. Everybody is very emotional right now.
A lot of people said a lot of things.
A lot of people said a lot of things. What? Can we chill out? Why is everybody so emotional? It's football.
That was a gotta have it game.
It was.
You determined it.
It
as a gotta have it game by doing a blackout.
Yeah.
It was there for the taking.
Oh, yeah.
And then some things happened.
Yeah.
Some were your fault, some were acts of God.
Yeah. I guess you really can't control whether whether your quarterback breaks his leg.
Generally, no, you cannot.
He only got sacked once in that game.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Yeah, and then he only got sacked, I think, once or twice in the Northwestern game too. And Teddy Prohaska blew out his knee. So, what's the lesson here? Just don't
win every play.
I don't ever pass the ball. It might be. I don't know, but it's a very emotional time. People are really, really wound tightly right now. And Nebraska is 6-3. And they got 3 games in front of them, and they could win them all, and they could lose them all, and they have their backup quarterback. And I don't know. It's there's a lot of people who want to say a lot of things about the direction of the program and where things are at right now. And we seem, very. It's kind of all over the place. People have different problems with a variety of different things. I don't know. I just like to. You feel how you feel, I guess. But can we just chill out a little bit? Can we chill out a little bit? Can we chill out a little bit?
Yeah,
Nebraska's okay.
Yeah, I think
people lose their quarterbacks all the time.
I think we're on the exhale of
they got to win them. They got to
the
win
emotional state.
Okay, all right. That's
dread of the unknown and a road trip to UCLA. Like that's the back end of the emotional state.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt writes in.
Hi, John Jacob.
No, we cannot chill out ever. All right, good to know. Now we know. All right, so that's just the setup for what we're going to talk about as we go on throughout the show this afternoon. As always, would love to hear from you. You could call. You could ask me questions. You could call just to talk.
You're not Michael Severe.
However you feel. I know. People don't have questions for me. That's okay. We will be back after this, Josh, on 1620 The Zone. But first, yes, let's talk a little bit about Underdog Fantasy. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back. And however you like to get into the action, you could do it on Underdog right now in Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Plus, with Underdog's quick payouts, you can get your profits fast. So download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions, powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing good terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncbgambling.org.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hadson with you here on a Tuesday in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. As we said, you could always call. I could be a sounding board. I could be a person that you yell at. I could be a person that asks questions, that is asked questions. I could ask questions back. I always want to know what's going on. So we'd love to take the phone calls here on this show. So let's head over to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline right now. That's where we find Roy this morning. Hi, Roy. How we doing?
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
I'm just to circle back to last week. I'm sort of mad about how the program's spending money. It used to be back in the day they wouldn't splash out so much for the coach's salary, but they'd hold some back for innovative stuff like nutrition and strength. And I think in the age of data and AI, there's a lot to do with that. Like, people don't realize that you can feed, you know, a coach's game decisions and, you know, their play calls, an old coach from back in the day, to an AI, and then the AI can make those decisions.
Oh, so you want to have an AI like offensive coordinator?
Well, maybe you could give it like a co-title. I don't know if it has to be full on.
Okay. So like Dana Holgerson with help from AI, or like Matt Rule making making decisions like real time and fourth down decisions, like timeout decisions, just assisted by AI.
Well, one trained specifically with Tom Osborne. I mean, they have all that game tape in the vault. I don't see why they're not doing that.
Oh, I see. Okay, Roy, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I actually have a serious point today.
Okay.
If we can pivot from that.
Great.
I think the offense that they're running, which is basically a drop back passing game with a dead simple handoff run game. Very few college historically now have been able to run that. You basically need blue chips across the board, and you got to win one-on-one battles in every game. There's basically no slack or redundancy to have a space to hide your deficiency. And I just don't think a program of that. So, you know, I think what they're doing with defense and special team is great, because that's largely a product of culture. But what they're doing with offense, I just don't think is going to work. And what they need is something that's more a mix of custom scheme and player development. So I think they're really sort of fighting against the stream on that. And yeah, it's just frustrating to watch, because really only Georgia is trying to run this offense and doing it halfway successfully right now. And I just don't think they're ever going to bootstrap into the talent they need to run it.
Yeah, Roy, it's a fair point. I appreciate the call. So let's talk about AI Tom Osborne first. Okay.
Yeah, why does it have to be Tom Osborne?
Well, I mean, he made no wrong decisions.
Okay, you don't have the players to run that offense.
But like, I'm not actually entertaining the idea of recreating Tom Osborne in AI, because I think he was joking. And
Tom Osborne still here, by the way.
Right, but like, you know, like middle-aged Tom Osborne.
Okay.
You know, you want his
he's
brain
now.
You want his brain, not.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Got you.
Let's play with this.
So you just feed all of Tom Osborne's like coaching decisions into an AI, it eats it and it reads it, and then it spits it out to help Matt Rule during his crucial decision making during the game. I don't know what that would look like.
Oh, so not necessarily the play calling, like run this play at this time, but
I would refer to it more in the decision making category. You know, we're about to talk about fourth down.
I know you want to run 20 yards downfield and yell at that ref and use a timeout. Don't do it. Don't do it.
If there was something that was in Matt Rule's ear as he was thinking about calling a useless timeout and burning 2 timeouts in one drive in the third quarter of a close game, maybe something just buzzed into his ear and it says Tom Osborne would never do this. This is registering at a 0% on TomOsborne.ai. And so you should not do what you're about to do.
Wear red pants.
What do you think? What do you think, Josh?
Okay, now that you can kind of convince me of.
Yeah.
That isn't the worst idea.
Okay. All right. I don't know what the functionality of that would look like. I'm not sure. But
most people have like a chart, okay, go for it, don't go.
Yeah, keep in mind,
if you could just have Tom Osborne AI.
Now they use data. They use all the data, and at some point, you receive all of the data that you could get, but then you ultimately still have to make the decision, right? But if you are not making the decision based on what the data tells you, then what good does the data do? Now,
you can only go against it so many times.
We are also talking about a football season that only encapsulates so many moments, and it only has 12 games, and like over a baseball season with a large sample size, you'll see teams make these sometimes baffling decisions, but they'll do it all the time, and so they get good results over a 162 game season, not necessarily fueled by AI, but fueled by numbers and data and analytics and stuff like that. Like, why are you taking your pitcher out in the 5th inning with 2 outs? That's just what we do. That's what the data tells us to do. All right. So you do it over and over and over again, and it and maybe it works. Okay, so put a pin in that. TomOsborne.ai to be Matt Rule's little angel on his shoulder during the games when he's about to call a senseless timeout.
Feels like there's a pre-produced bit in there somewhere.
I think so. He loves taking timeouts.
Oh, yeah.
He loves taking timeouts.
They just give you 3 of these every half.
Yeah. And so, like, I heard some people getting after him for the first, like, he took a defensive first half timeout. Like, I think it was a 3rd and 17 or something like that. I don't care about first half timeouts. You could take them whenever you want. You don't need those.
They're pointless.
Yeah, just throw away. Second half timeouts, 2-on-1 drive, and then you kick a field goal, a 52-yard field goal, which is, I think we've seen enough to say, regardless of what they thought his distance was, it is a low conversion probability on the 52-yard field goal. Not enough people, I don't think, have talked about the fact that there was actually a third option on that 4th down play. There was go for it, try and draw them off sides, whatever it was, and then they take the timeout, which I don't think you had to do that. You could have just run it and not taken the timeout. Or you could have come back out after the timeout and then went for it, kick the field goal, which is they did, or not take the timeout, take a 5-yard penalty, and punt it in a 14-6 game in the 3rd quarter where USC's offense is really struggling to get off the ground. I know they were gashing them with runs, but, there is that option too. And then there is the second point that Mr. Roy brought up. A couple people commenting on Roy's call. Josh has commented publicly on Roy's call. I saw your tweet, Josh.
Thank you.
Just sneak that by me.
I mean, they're public. You can see them.
I saw it. You don't have a burner or anything like that.
I wish I did.
So, the second part, I think, is, sort of a real conversation. Now, keep in mind I think he's generally right. This is speaking in sweeping generalities, right? What they are doing bakes into the cake that you have a small margin for error. They say it over and over again. These games are all going to be close. We're going to the 4th quarter. We're going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. But when we go to the 4th quarter, it's going to be close. And we're going to give ourselves a chance to win in that 4th quarter. Like, how many times has Matt Rule said it over and over again? They want, so before we go into like the big picture of like what gives you more margin for error, understand that they have less margin for error purposefully.
Yes.
Purposefully. They are attempting to, win games in the margins. And so far for Matt Rule in these close games, they haven't necessarily yielded good results against teams that they are underdogs against or teams that are ranked in the top 25. They haven't gotten over that hump yet. I don't think it's a great time to say, hey, look at the results in this game and we have to change everything that we're all about. But, you think about the quarterback and you think about, the receivers that Nebraska has and their defense built the way that they are built. To Roy's point, I thought that they would be a lot more tempo-y and spready and, just more decisive in their movements offensively. I thought that they would be more of that this year. And because I thought it fit the team. Like I said, I think you have a dynamic quarterback who can make plays with his arms. I think you want to get the ball out of his hand quickly because of your lack of talent on the offensive line or lack of production or whatever you want to call it on the offensive line. I think you have a few very good wide receivers who have the ability to get open. You can use them in different and creative ways. And I think, maybe more importantly, the math equation includes your defense, which is not very big up front. It is Not as good against the run as some of, especially Nebraska's defenses over the last 2 years. So like when you look at their math equation over the last 2 years, it made a lot of sense. They didn't have the offensive weapons, and they didn't, in the first year, they didn't have the quarterback to do it. And so like low and slow and get it to the fourth quarter is the name of the game. This year, I thought that they would be more explosive. Really on both sides of the ball. I thought they would attempt to be more explosive.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball. And so I think there's some truth there to what Roy said. Like they'll have to do, now is not the time for the record, but they'll have to do like a full-on evaluation of like what kind of team do we want to be. And you don't do that until you have your quarterback and all the stuff, all the things lined up for what you're going to be next year. But I thought that they would look at this team at the beginning of this year and they would say, let's go balls to the wall on offense and let's try and make enough plays on defense. And now they have been sort of just stuck in the middle. You know, sometimes they're trying to do that. Sometimes they're trying to take advantage of those advantages that they have. And sometimes they're trying to play the role. Like Saturday night, they were trying to play the role of the Big Ten West team, which I thought was the appropriate way to win the game, given what we know about this team. But they were trying to play the role of the team that everyone thought they should be based on the opponent that they played. Right. And I think so in that comes it comes a baked in conservativeness on offense. And I just I thought with a chance, with a 14-6 lead, I thought with a chance to go up and with a frenzied out crowd. Same thing in the first half too. They had they had several opportunities to make it a 2-score game, whether it be in the first half and then for those 2 drives in the second half. You know, you had multiple opportunities because the defense was really doing a nice job. And you know, I thought their conservative nature in really all of those situations came back to bite them in the end, kept USC in the game, and then they go down and they get a flea flicker and they tie it up, and then it's a different game from then on. And then you're really just hoping and you're like, can we do enough? Can we do enough in those moments? So yeah, I thought they were too conservative on Saturday night. If that's the main takeaway from everybody, like I agree. And I think for the record, I think they've been too conservative for the entire season.
On a night when Matt Rule asked the fans to give it everything they got, he and his staff did not.
Yeah. But at the same time, like you don't want to like completely reverse course on who you are and who you're trying to be. But there are moments and there are situations where that dictate, hey, look, we gotta press down the gas pedal here, and we gotta either go or not go. And there was a lot of indecision. I mean, you go back to that drive. I mean,
woof.
It's really crazy all of the things that happened on that drive, right? So we could start at the second half. Nebraska gets the ball coming out right away, and they get stopped on a 3rd and short. Pritchett whiffed on a cut block, and Emmett got stonewalled. And they give it back up, and you're like, uh-oh, that was a great opportunity. That was a great opportunity for a tone-setting drive to start the second half, and they went 3 and out. Yikes. Tough.
Seen that before this season.
They come right back, and Maeva is an idiot and throws the pick to Andrew Marshall. And you're like, okay, hang on.
Back in business.
Then Nebraska gets the ball back again. They take a shot, I think, up the field to Hunter, and they're trying for like a back shoulder on second down, and they're not on the same page, and Raiola throws it short, and Hunter's not turned around. And then on 3rd down, Raiola gets sacked, and he fumbles, and he's hurt, and disaster ensues, right? But then coming back off of that, USC gets a couple runs, and they one of the things that the book on them was before the game is like they really like to run on third down because they'll just go for it on fourth down. Like regardless of where they are, it's third and long, they'll just run it because they'll go for it on fourth down. And sure enough, exact situation happened. Nebraska's defense, as they kind of had been doing all night. I know there was the list of runs that were 10 plus by USC was just absurd from Saturday night. But the defense bows up and they get the fourth down stop near midfield, and everybody's fired up. Like, okay, we're in a lather now, and here comes TJ. Here comes TJ Lateef. He's into the game. So first play of the drive, Pritchett gets hurt. Pritchett turns an ankle, and sounds like he's probably going to play this week, although Matt Rule wasn't sure yesterday. But it's he better, because you're thin at that spot.
Very.
And then, Rule burns the first time out after a run, both to have a discussion with the officials about they're having a discussion with the officials because I believe this was the play where, Corcoran pushes the guy into the pile and then he gets shoved afterwards. Then you're in a chaos situation because he's trying to argue the call. He's trying to get the play clock pumped back up, and the play clock was about to expire. It looked like they were going to get it off, but he calls the timeout anyway. Then Lateef pulls it on the read option on the next play. So you've burned a timeout at this point. Lateef pulls it on the read option. He is near the sideline. It gets punched out of bounds. So he's being loose with the ball. The ball's coming out, and you're out of sorts again. Play clock's running way down. You're like setting up a Maryland eye situation with Lateef at the tip of it, and then he motions toward the line of scrimmage. He takes another timeout, and it didn't look like anybody really knew what to do. It was just a big, massive chaos situation. Harburg was under center. They take another timeout, and then they line up to take a 52-yard field goal, and they missed it. Obviously short. Wasted 2 timeouts for it.
If you just push it a little bit more, you could have turned USC into a passing team, and
it's just
that wasn't going well.
Exactly. It's the lack of it's the indecisiveness paired along with the conservativeness.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought in that moment, specifically that drive, and to their credit, I mean, there was a lot going on.
Sure.
There was a lot going on. You're dealing with a backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with a new left tackle, and you're just trying to figure out any way to get like a yard. And their thought was like, all right, we're going to try and draw them offside on fourth down. And they blew the timeout with like 5 on the play clock. You could have taken, if you were trying to do that, you could have taken it like 2 more huts, before you actually went to actually try and get the offside. So I thought there was some indecisiveness there. And at the point where you have to make a decision whether to take a timeout or a 5-yard penalty, knowing that you had already taken a timeout right before that, I just think it probably wouldn't have gone over well. It definitely wouldn't have gone over well. But at that point, I think the right decision was probably to just take the 5 yards and punt it. I think that, like, thinking back on it now, and remember, they're doing all this in real time, so it's hard, right? But I think ultimately the right decision was to take the 5 yards and punt it and throw Archie out there and hopefully get him nailed in between the 10-yard line and the goal line at that point. Hopefully, that's the point. It might not, end exactly that way. You could be ending up with a net gain of like 15 yards and a punt on that play, because it's a 52-yard field goal, you're at the 35, and but at least you're not taking that second timeout, and you're putting your defense out there. And I like, if you're being that kind of team, you probably don't mind putting your defense out there with an 8-point lead with them on their own 20-yard line, and then they come right back. They're going tempo, and there was 2 drives later, I think, where they hit the flea flicker, but that was the drive immediately after that where they started hitting them on read options, and Mayava was keeping them, and they scored. And so Nebraska had to kind of make a decision. What are we going to sell out on? And it just felt like I said, there was too much indecisiveness in that game. And so, like, I think the question, is this, like, does he need some help with some game management stuff? The answer is obviously yes, but I think if you would have asked me before, games that Nebraska, this had cropped up really early in the Matt Rule era. Like, does he need help with this game? When to take timeouts? And obviously he's very loose with the timeouts. I wasn't really worried about it all that much in year 1 or year 2, because I just thought they had bigger fish to fry as far as the program was concerned, and getting that back on track and getting some feet underneath you. And I just thought, like, if this is still a problem, like you had all these different types of quarterbacks and a patchwork offense that you were working with. And I just thought, like, all right, I want to see this when it gets to its, we're getting close to, like, it's the end of year 3, right? We're getting close to having the answer of, like, what are you going to be, And so now I think we have a better idea of where this is all landing. And it's pretty clear to me that they're going to have to be, the way it's going, that they're going to have to be really, really, really good in the margins. They've worked on the special teams. It's been fixed. It didn't make a difference for them on Saturday night, but at least it wasn't a negative. It has made a difference for them throughout the remainder of this season. I don't know if extra timeouts save you that game, because I don't know if that, and they were, the thing that also bothered me on that last drive, Nebraska needs a touchdown to win it. They get the ball with 3:30 on the clock, or 3:35-ish, I think, something like that. And they are just kind of putzing around inside their own 20-yard line. They're not going fast. There's not much urgency. And it felt like the whole goal was to get to the 2-minute timeout and regroup. And I'm like, dude, that's a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go, and once again, you're dealing with a backup quarterback. So that's baked into the equation as well. I don't know if the extra timeouts save you that game, but obviously this is not the first instance where they've not had them in that situation.
And that's the problem.
And he said yesterday, he said, quote, this is at the very end of his answer about being asked about the timeouts. He said, sometimes when you guys ask me those questions, I'd have to start throwing people under the bus. And I don't really want to do that, and it all comes back to him. It all comes back to him eventually, whether it's miscommunication on how you get the plays in. I know he doesn't have the helmet on. He's looking at the wristband deal, and that takes longer in that situation. But it came back to all of it bit Nebraska on Saturday night in a game where they absolutely played well enough to win. They 100%, even with TJ, with the Teefies at quarterback, Nebraska, it is a game that they could have and probably should have won. And I know that it's a tall task for the quarterback to come in that situation and win it, but they're up by 8. And so, some things have to change when you have your backup quarterback in there, but they have to have the answers to those questions. They have to have the answers to those. And going forward, I think that we'll talk about this later when we talk about what I'm excited about with TJ Lateef. Like, I think you can win games with them. I think it has to be different, but I do think you can win games with them. And so there's that piece of it.
You recruited him. You obviously see something in him that you think he can succeed for you.
Mustache Adam writes in.
Hello, Mustache.
I like how we're still doing this 4 days later. Ranking of options in that situation. Number 1, go for it. Number 2, line Lateef up under center to draw him offside, take the penalty and punt. Number 15, kick the field goal. Number 867, what they did, which was, of course, take a timeout and then take a field goal.
It's a team that we often criticize for not having an identity, but one of the things we do think we know about Matt Rule is that he likes to go for it on 4th down.
Yep.
And he didn't there.
Text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
So you bring up a good point, Connor. Thank you, Texter. The fact that we can discuss game management more critically, I think, means we are somewhat comfortable with the trajectory of the program build. Now that we can nitpick things like game management and specific player performance to take the next step. Yeah. And so, there's, like I said, it's been an emotional last several days, and you have one side saying like, this is a big disappointment. And you have the other side saying like, hey, can't you guys see that this thing is on the right track? But it's not a black and white situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nebraska absolutely is on the right track. They are on the right track. But their track is how you have to win games specifically by doing the things that they didn't do on Saturday night. Right? They have to be so good in the coaching department. They have to be so good in the individual one-on-one stuff. And like, they don't have to, not everything has to be perfect because you have flaws as a team, obviously. But yes, the floor of the program has been raised and the trajectory, in my opinion, is really good. But in order to make the trajectory better, they have to do this stuff right. They have to get this right. It doesn't work without it. It's just like special teams, and credit them for fixing the special teams, but they got to fix game management and they got to fix these chaotic situations. And Rule said it yesterday. He was like, usually I like to take timeouts just to kind of diffuse the situation. But after taking the first time out, you immediately found yourself in a highly combustible situation again, only to take another timeout, diffuse again, and then kick a field goal. Right. So it's you got to be good at this stuff. And it definitely cost them it in part cost them a game on Saturday night. So want to hear from you guys, 402-951-1620 on the hotline, or of course on the text line. I haven't even looked at the YouTube comments. We got to get to those. Is there anything good from there, Josh? Have you been monitoring?
Nothing unique after my experience Saturday and Monday.
That's right. Yeah. You've talked about this a lot already. All right. We'll be back with Allan Bell coming up next on 1620 The Zone. Welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hudson with you here in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Matt McMaster, as of 10 minutes ago, has arrived for the very first time at Nebraska Crossing Outlets. Wow. Enjoy. What's he doing out there? I don't know. Maybe he needs a new pair of sunglasses at Sunglass Hut or something.
Maybe he needs some Legos.
Maybe he needs some Legos. Maybe he needs some shoes.
Matt loves hockey. Maybe he's checking out the NHL team.
Maybe he's going to the Nike store or the Adidas store or the Under Armour store that aren't any cheaper than the regular stores.
Yeah, they're not outlets.
They're not actual outlet malls.
But it is at the outlet mall.
It is indeed at the outlet.
It's confusing, almost like it's deceptive in a way.
Yeah. Sort of odd. All right, so now's a great time. So I'm just learning about this whole hut hike dilemma.
Yes.
Can I help you out with the pan dilemma?
Yes.
Josh,
we desperately needed help.
Where is Fred with the dilemma call here? Let's see. Holy Chicago.
That's a dilemma.
That's a dilemma. What's the dilemma here?
Well, the dilemma is
now. I was for the record. I wasn't saying to hike the ball. I was saying say hut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a couple more huts in there for a hard count.
Matt McMaster on Big Red Overreaction said that Nebraska was trying to hike them off sides, and I believe caller Brian was very off put by that phrasing.
Idiot, you don't say hike offside.
Saying that I can't even talk to you if you're gonna say like I don't know what you mean.
I
imagine hike them off sides.
I imagine Matt took that really well.
He really did, and we went back and forth, and then one of them swore and got hung up on. I won't say who.
Well, if he got hung up on, it was probably not Matt.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
Like the caller would not even get to his point. Like he never got there because
he couldn't get past the whole hut thing.
Hike them off
or
sides.
hike them off.
You're trying to hike them off. You don't hike someone off sides. You draw them off sides. And then he did not appreciate when he said, "Hey, you draw them off sides." And I said, "Draw like a doodle on a cocktail napkin." He did not appreciate that.
I need to listen to that show because I'm super interested in the dynamic between you two, and the callers, because you're more of like
I'm no help.
Right. You're sort of an instigator
a little bit
in that way. And Matt does not, like if you're calling him out on his ball knowledge, he does not take that probably very well.
He does not. And I was watching Game 7 of the World Series at the same time.
Yeah. Well, since Allan didn't answer, great time to talk about the World Series.
What a great World Series.
This is the first time that baseball has been talked about on this show since Thursday.
Yes. Other than in What to Watch.
Wow.
Friday.
Wow. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. You're a very football-pilled show.
Mm-hmm.
We talk baseball and basketball on this show.
Well-rounded. Pride ourselves in that.
How about those baseball games, Josh? I don't even really have a topic or a take. How great were those games? We may have just seen one of the best World Series of our lifetimes. It may be better than the 2001 World Series, as everyone likes to talk about. It was definitely better than 2014. It was probably better. It was a worse, not worse. It wasn't it was equal probably as a Game 7 as 2016, but it was a better series than it was in 2016.
Yeah, it had a lot of good games.
Yeah. I mean, so there was
I don't recall any real blowouts.
Well, I mean, the Dodgers still lost like the run differential in the World Series, but they were able to win the World Series, which I thought was, pretty funny. So there were some stats going around on Saturday night, I guess, after games, Saturday night after Game 7, and they were surrounding the idea of like how game-changing these individual plays were. So Will Smith's home run in the top of the 11th had a 41.6 championship win probability added. So these are basically the biggest plays or the most clutch plays and a list of the most clutch plays in MLB history. Before Game 7, the top 10 was this: 10 Yogi Berra, 9 Bucky Harris, 8 Bobby Thompson, 7 Jim Northrup, 6 Bill Mazeroski, which is kind of unbelievable. 5 Francisco Cabrera, 4 Rajay Davis. We mentioned that 2016 Game 7. 3 Tony Womack. Tony Womack gets the nod for Game 7 in 2001 as the most consequential play in that game with his double down the line off of Mariano Rivera, not Luis Gonzalez.
Okay.
2 Tris Speaker and 1 Hal Smith. So Miguel Rojas, with his 9th inning game tying home run in Game 7 at a 35% championship probability added, which was the 9th biggest play in MLB history. And then I would imagine that his defensive play at second base on the throw home, I mean, you could really make it a 100 or 0 proposition at that point. Pretty good. And keep in mind, he was also in the middle of the pick at second base in Game 6 on the double play that ended Game 6 and got us to Game 7. And then at 41.6%, Will Smith, his 11th inning home run, registered as the 4th biggest play in MLB history, according to championship probability added.
Did you see the video of DeRosa trying to get the ball to wedge into the base of the wall? He was trying to recreate it.
I think I did.
And
impossible.
So there's no lip on the bottom
about how close it is, tight to the ground.
Yeah.
And so the chances of that happening are astronomical.
I know that's a different part of a different game.
That's Game
but
6.
Yeah.
That got us to that moment. But think about all the unlikely things. I thought Vlad Guerrero hit a walk-off home run to win the World Series.
I thought he did too. You could see my reaction on Big Red Overreaction.
I don't think anyone has ever looked more hitterish in that moment than him. He was like 3-0. There is no way that I'm not taking my crack here.
Oh my gosh, I'm Joe Carter. I'm Joe Carter.
Yeah. And he had the look of Joe Carter throughout that series too. God, was he good.
He was great.
What a great series.
I thought I was leaning Toronto, but not like heavily. Like I'm not like a huge Dodger hater like a lot of people were. And then Will Smith hit that home run and I'm like, oh, yeah, I did care. I did care who win, and I wanted Toronto to win.
Well, I'll say this: like, usually the first thing that I'm rooting for, if you have to pick a team, obviously it was Toronto for me. But I just wanted a good series, and we got a great series. So at the point where we get to the 11th inning in Game 7, I'm like, yeah, whatever happens is going to be sick. So let's go.
True,
and it was, and it most definitely was. Let's take a phone call here from Nate on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Nate.
Yeah, so true story, 44 years old, definitely probably the second or third best World Series of my lifetime. And to give you context, during the series, I'm texting former Dodgers that I know, Joe Moeller, Claude Osteen, Steve Garvey, and we're talking about this, and they're saying the same thing. Like, baseball guys who have been in Major League Baseball for multiple decades are like, holy crap. I mean, like, this was a wild World Series, and I don't think because of baseball's declining popularity, people are really appreciating what we just witnessed. Both in terms of star power. I mean, on paper, Dodgers maybe second best on paper behind 27 Yankees, maybe 74 Reds. I mean, like, this lineup is crazy. And to watch them get pushed by a team that basically has Bo Bichette, who may or may not be a Hall of Famer, and Guerrero, who probably will be. I mean, this was strange. This was almost 60 Pirates, 60 Yankees again. Like, it was real close to that when you talked about Mazeroski and the fact he was on that list.
Yep.
Very strange. But the other thing, this is the crazy take for the day. So in your cutaway to commercial, I heard you discussing the clip of the stupid and the sky and that stupid, idiotic, fake Mumford and Sons redneck Irish nonsense. I promise you, this team is not going to be good again until we drop that. That song perfectly encompasses the stupidity of the Riley and Frost eras. Until that thing dies, this team never gets better. And I'm still over here wondering what Nebraska, a native word, how that gets turned into Nebraska. I can't. Like, this is the stupidest song, the stupidest marketing trick in the history of any college sport. I hate that song passionately.
Wow. Nate Rackham.
Have a great day.
What a call. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off at the end there, but my God. That's a sports radio caller.
That is.
That guy knew ball and then had a take at the end. What do you think about? I haven't let a take fly on the Killigan song in a long time.
I think he's more right than not.
People seem to get into it.
Yeah.
The people seem to get into it. That's what it's really about.
Really
right?
what it's about.
I believe, I don't know this to be factual and depending on exactly how it looks in any situation, but I think that will be the Killigan song will make its way to Pinnacle Bank Arena this year as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Some people get fired up. They get to read the lyrics on the big screen. I certainly do not feel as passionately as Nate does about the Come On Runnin' Boys. What?
Breaking news from the National Football League. Ever heard of it?
Yes.
The New York Football Jets are trading Sauce Gardner to the Colts.
Okay.
Instant reaction.
All right.
Connor
I'm
Happer.
good. Maybe we'll have it in NFL reaction overreaction. Today is trade deadline day in the NFL. We have a trade deadline question from the writers in NFL reaction overreaction. It involves a quarterback who did not play last night. Also breaking news. Thank you, Josh. John Gruden has misspelled Blue Jays.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Now, this is a problem. You want to talk about branding and all that stuff. He did Blue Space Jays.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
And we heard about Frank Caliendo's upcoming unboxing with Creighton. And it happened on John Gruden's Twitter account just now, but it was Frank Caliendo acting like John Gruden. And it says the Creighton Blue Space Jays have a great history in their coming with force for the Big East this year.
What do you get?
Watch that video.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. It's out. Frank will join the show tomorrow. All right, the odd news is coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Somewhat. The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone. The Kansas City Chiefs' quest for
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, so the Gruden Caliendo video is out once again. Blue Jays, one word, but it starts with Caliendo just acting like John Gruden and opening up the box, and he did a funny thing. He said Sean McDermott, man, and some guy in the background was like, "No, it's Greg." And then he was like, how do I confuse a guy who looks like Shrek? You ever seen Shrek, man? He did that whole thing. And then eventually, like 3 minutes in, actual Gruden walked into the room and was like, what are you doing? And then he named Kyle Korver and Anthony Tolliver and Big East basketball. And then it eventually evolved into, at the end, they're just screaming at each other, both being Gruden, which is pretty good.
I could only hear it. I couldn't see it. Obviously he sounds like Gruden, but like he really sounds like John Gruden. I couldn't really tell the difference. And he did one for Ryan Miller too.
Did he do one for the Jacers?
Is this accurate?
I don't know.
He did.
I don't know. Who are you getting that from, Josh?
Who am I getting what from?
Who's your source?
My source is Frank Caliendo. He tweeted it over the weekend.
Whenever Frank comes into a town to go to a game this year, he has guaranteed me that he's coming on Jay's Live.
Oh,
so
this is incredible.
Yeah. So get ready for that. It's coming. Also, I just saw this.
I'm gonna get my access pulled from Creighton games.
This is an odd news story, Josh. It's perfect.
Is it the one with Tom Brady?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yes. I'm gonna throw this one out.
Just ditch one of the odd news stories for this, because this is absurd.
Nobody cares that the Meow Mix podcast is back, but go ahead.
Whoa, wait a minute. Keep that one in.
Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, yeah, the Tom Brady one. I've only read the headline, but that's all I normally do anyway. So
that's basically all it is. So now this is Bleacher Report. I better go to the source on this.
The most reputable, but it is on the higher side of reputable.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's garbage. But this is one of those things where the garbage headline will transcend. So I guess Brady must have done a People magazine interview or some sort of spread or something like that.
Sexiest Man Alive was announced. He was probably in that issue in some form or fashion.
So here it is. Tom Brady revealed that his current dog, Junie, is the clone of his late dog, Lua, who died 2 years ago. The dogs were cloned by Colossal Biosciences, a biotech company that Brady is an investor in, using blood collected prior to Lua's death. Tom Brady said, I would like to keep this dog even after it dies. And then he bought a biosciences company and then cloned it. And that...
Oh, he bought the company.
I mean, he is an investor in
it,
is what it says. He's an investor in it. What the F, Tom Brady? What the hell, dude?
I mean,
that's my comment on this story. What the hell?
I never want this dog to die.
Also, odd news story.
Oh,
the Lincoln Airport has an announcement.
Okay.
They announced a new Breeze Airways flight. 2 new ones.
Don't know what that is, but go on.
Vegas and Orange County, California, starting in April.
California.
Lincoln to Vegas coming in April, apparently. How about that?
Live Golf moving to a 72-hole format starting next season.
Whoa, look at all this news.
It's where's Michael Bruntz?
All right.
An update to one of the stories we brought you last week. They have found the monkey that had escaped the monkey truck that crashed.
Oh, good.
And homeowner discovered a primate on its property as authorities continued the search for the missing monkeys. Last week, a truck leaving Tulane University flipped, freeing multiple aggressive monkeys on a Mississippi interstate. 3 of them got away. relatively soon after that, police caught 2 of them. There was still one at large, for lack of a better term, and
Sure.
It was found safely
without incident.
Yeah, I believe the monkey
did not have to be euthanized.
gave himself up. All right, you got me. Just let me smoke some
Good
cigs
job.
in those labs.
Good job by the monkey.
Yeah. That's
Just
really
turn
what we're
yourself
looking
in.
for.
Do the right thing.
That's right. We go to Ohio for our final story. A 42-year-old man was arrested Friday morning after robbing a bank in Alliance, Ohio, is where this takes place. First bank robbery in Alliance, Ohio since 2010, by the way. Could you imagine?
Whoa.
According to the Alliance PD, Juan L. Mason recently moved to Alliance from Akron. I don't know why that matters here. He entered the bank around 9:20, claiming to have a weapon. He demanded cash and fled on foot with 400 $1 bills. Police responded immediately and searched the area. A patrolman located the man.
You just let him go.
It's $400.
$400 $1 bills.
$1
What are you supposed to do with a $1 bill?
You know where he's going. Patrolman located the man walking just outside the bank in a rather loud Smurf hoodie. So he's not trying to blend into his surroundings.
He didn't catch the memo on the blackout.
No, he was carrying the stolen money. He was taken into custody without incident, booked into the Stark County Jail. He had a lengthy criminal record, but when being apprehended, he then asked officers if he could put the stolen cash in his commissary at the Stark County Jail.
Damn it. What the hell?
No, they don't let you do that, buddy.
Now, they would have figured it out, probably, that he is an escaped jail person, but, I mean, he didn't have to give himself up that way. I probably would have put up a bigger fight. Probably would have robbed a bank better. Probably wouldn't have robbed a bank the second I got out of jail. You're just asking to go back to jail.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
damn.
We're all about questioning decision-making in hindsight, and I got a lot of questions for this bank robber.
Yeah, that's tough.
Hey, can I put this in my commissary? Get some ramen?
Commissary? What do you mean by that? You go to school or something? No. I'm in jail. You're not right now.
I'm a jail guy.
I'm in jail now. All right. Well, thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the odd news. Very odd. Very, very odd today. John says on the text line that a lady shot one of the monkeys in her yard.
Whoa.
We got to follow up on that.
Okay. Whoa. Hold on.
We got to follow up on that.
Monkeys on the property. Now in possession of the monkey. Monkeys were controversial.
But all 3 of the monkeys are accounted for? All 3 of the missing monkeys?
Yes.
Accounted for in what way?
Wow. You might have a more detailed story than mine.
Okay. Yeah, check some other sources there, Josh. All right, we'll be back. Noon hour is coming up. NFL reaction, overreaction, and plenty more on 1620 The Zone. But first, fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back. And however you'd like to get in on the action, you could do it on Underdog right now in Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. You just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Plus, with Underdog's quick payouts, you can get your profits fast. So download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus at present. Nebraska terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
does it the only way he knows how. With his massive sports brain sprinkled with a smidgen of rabble-rousing. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, noon hour on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. Connor Happer and Josh Hodson with you. Did you know the Huskers have just one home game left? Do you think about that? Just one game left. It's Black Friday against Iowa. And there will still be a Blur party tailgate on that morning, no matter the temperature. In all kinds of weather, they say. And you need to head to our website right now, 1620thezone.com, and enter for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Ultimate Blur Party Tailgate for the Iowa game, the Heroes game, on Black Friday. Don't act like you have time. You just pretend like you don't. Do it right now. 1620thezone.com.
Yeah, be like Michael Severe and don't wait.
I will just be returning from a nice trip, like a 48-hour trip to Vegas.
Oh, that's the perfect amount of time.
I'll be doing the show from a hotel room on the Vegas Strip on Monday and Tuesday of that week, Josh.
Unless a plane full of convicts crashes into the Strip first.
It is possible. I don't know if they'll cancel the show for that, though.
It's happened before. It could happen again.
It could. It happened in that movie that one time. Did you see, by the way, that I saw this as a clip and I did not look into it at all? Maybe you could get the Google fingers out.
All right.
So is there a current movie that basically is a TV show that is basically a rebuff of Speed?
Whoa.
So I saw this clip and it was a guy in a truck, maybe like a moving truck or something like that.
Okay.
And he's got his wife with him and he's got his kid in the back. And he gets a call and it's like, hey, if you go below 50 miles an hour, the bomb's going to blow up. It's in your console right now. Check it out. They're like, funny joke, stop it. And then, they're like, oh, this is a real threat. And they go, well, I've seen that movie,
Mm-hmm.
And then he calls 911 and he's like, hey, look, this is going on. And the 911 dispatcher says, of course, what? Oh, I've seen that movie. Come on, stop playing a joke on me.
Oh, okay.
And that was the clip that I saw. What is that?
Boy, I don't know. It feels like an episode of the television show 911.
It very much could be. It seemed like it could be a television show.
I don't even know how to Google this. Did 911 do Speed?
TV show with speed plot. TV show with speed plot. Blackhead says, I've seen that exact clip /ad, no idea where.
Okay.
It got me.
It looks like it is an episode of 911.
You nailed it.
It is from an episode in 2022 titled Outside Looking In.
Yep.
After Athena, Bobby, and the 118 Speed to the rescue to save a family whose pickup truck has been rigged with a pipe bomb, which will detonate if the vehicle slows under 55 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
they just did it.
Having
and then
Speed in quotes.
And then they made constant reference to the movie during the episode of television, which I think if there's a way to do it, that's probably it.
I think you'd almost have to. Hey, we know what we're doing. We know it. You know it.
They're going to the writer's room. They're like, do we acknowledge this? And they're like, yeah, I think we have to. Here's a text from Bill.
Hi, Bill.
On the text line. Why are you guys burying the lead story today? Extra Points newsletter filed a bunch of FOIA requests, and the Huskers are number 2 in the country.
We're number 2.
Beer sales.
We're number 2.
Whoa. And then I raced over to Matt Brown, Extra Points Twitter, and sure enough, there it is. Units sold.
Oh, we love units.
Units sold. Wisconsin is selling a lot of units.
I bet.
Of
you
beer.
Need to drink to watch that team.
A lot of units of beer. 255,000 units so far this season, totaling over $3 million in revenue. Nebraska, 168,000 units sold. Those are, I assume that's just alcoholic beverages sold. Revenue over $2 million. $2 million. Now, I don't know how much it costs Nebraska to get all of that beer into the stadium and however they do the math on all that stuff, but nice little revenue stream there. $2 million. $2 million, Josh. Selling
Only
beer.
20 more to go.
Selling beer is back. Also, I just received a message from Twitter.
Hi, Twitter.
Apparently, the TV show The Rookie also had a speed episode.
Whoa.
Now, I have seen a lot of clips from the show The Rookie.
Okay.
A lot of clips. It's all that is on TikTok. Clips from the show The Rookie. I feel like I know all the plot points of that movie.
Really?
But I didn't know they did a speed episode.
Okay. This is from March of 2025. That John and Selena find themselves in a hostage situation while undercover for a public safety initiative. Tim challenges Lucy's decision-making skills.
I don't know any of the names of the characters.
Well, now that
by the way.
episode's called Speed.
Well, maybe
that's not what.
Yeah,
the
maybe
right
that's
one.
not the speed episode. Okay. All right. So great to know. Nebraska is number 2 at selling beer in America on the FOIAs. Thank you, Matt Brown. Better than Tennessee, better than LSU, better than Minnesota, better than Michigan, Indiana, West Virginia, Kentucky, Illinois, Michigan State, Ohio, North Texas, Toledo, Bowling Green, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, UMass, Miami of Ohio, and Ball State. Why are they better than all of the MAC? I think you know why. So he said, I filed dozens of FOIAs to see what schools were selling the most booze at football games, both in raw numbers and per capita. Who was number 1? Obviously, Wisconsin by a lot. But here's the rest of our data. And then he said, anyway, I got to go do reporting and paperwork and stuff for now. But if you enjoy data-driven college football reporting and somebody who will take both important and stupid things very seriously, you'd love Extra Points. So subscribe to Matt Brown's very cool newsletter where he FOIAs things sometimes.
If you subscribe, he will tell you beers per person and who's leading.
Are you an Extra Point subscriber?
No, I am not.
I was going to say.
Somebody tweeted, hey.
Not in the YouTube TV era.
No.
I would subscribe to way more things if YouTube TV didn't cost $90 and I only got half the channels I paid for.
This YouTube TV Disney fight is killing journalism.
It is. There's no room to pay for KenPom. Oh, no. No, the KenPom's the KenPom's a recurring subscription. Don't worry about that. I do have access to KenPom. I had to know about my access to KenPom yesterday because I had to figure out what West Georgia was. I was leaving Pinnacle Bank Arena yesterday after the Nebraska women played, and I remembered late that the men played later on that night, and yes, they were playing West Georgia. And so I walked out of the building and I went to drive home and I pulled up my Matt Rule press conference. Listen to the Matt Rule press conference on the way home. And who do I walk into on the way out of the building but Fred Hoiberg? And I say, Fred, how's it going? And he said, it's going great. He had his readers on. What I should have said was, Fred, where do you find these schools that you're playing? What is West Georgia?
Why did you spot them a half?
Yeah, and then
I mean, you didn't know that at the time.
If I would have known how the first half went last night, I'd be like, "Hey, what was up with that?" But yes, I did not. It was just high instead of where do you find West Georgia? And then I saw Luca. I should have asked Luca Virgilio. Luca, he's their ops guy. I should have asked him where he finds these schools. He's probably in charge of the scheduling.
I saw the halftime graphic and then I had to make a decision. Okay, do
you make a comment?
Do I prep something
in case they lose to West Georgia?
Or even if they win by like single digits, like it's still worthy of mockery, right? And then I decided, no, they'll come through in the second half, and they did. So
Braden Frager, did you see that dunk?
Yes, I've heard his name only 120,000 times.
Let's take a phone call on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Here is Walter. Hi, Walter.
Hey guys, what's up? Another good show. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, you were talking about the beer drinking. I got to be honest with you, man. I was not drinking beer until about the last 2 weeks, the way Nebraska plays, especially after Minnesota. So I guess when you talk about Wisconsin drinking beer and then Nebraska fans number 2 drinking beer, man, it's the stress of the game that's drawing us to a beer.
There is the correlation between the most beer selling schools and the sadness. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You need something that releases stress. Hey, but my other question for you is this: from with Lateef playing now, what are you guys' thoughts on the fact that this kid could easily maybe throw for 150 yards and maybe run for 80 in this offense? I just want to know what your thoughts are on the offensive side of things, and hopefully we're not forcing him to play the Raiola offense when this guy has a different skill level. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm looking for something different now that Raiola's gone. I don't know if this offensive coordinator has it in him. I mean, I'm looking for something significantly different on Saturday. So with that, just want to say thanks again, guys. You guys have a great show.
Thank you, Walt. Appreciate it, Walter. The sooner you get this over with, the sooner we could all go home. Walter. You know what he was about to do when he was leading him? He was about to kill him. Good thing he didn't go in there.
Very.
Good thing he said 6353 Juan Tabo, apartment 6. Yeah, your boss is going to need me. I watched that episode last night because I didn't have YouTube TV. I resulted to watching old episodes of Breaking Bad again. What is wrong with me? I don't know. Thank you, Walter, for calling on a couple different levels. Number one, this is exactly what I want to talk about.
That's what,
in this segment. Number two, you gave me an excuse to quote Breaking Bad because your name is Walt. So I appreciate that.
Netflix making millions off of our pain right now.
Seriously, Netflix is like, sweet, I'll take the customers back. I would have never watched any television had I had YouTube TV.
I logged into Netflix last night looking for something to watch for the first time in months.
Unbelievable. So there are certain things that I'm excited about with Mr. Tiffy being the starter. I am.
What could you be excited about? They may never win another game again, Connor.
Okay, let's start there. Straw poll.
6-6.
Straw poll. How many more games does Nebraska win this season? In the regular season? 0, 1, 2, or 3? Now, I don't think we can. That's not our job to do that poll question, Josh.
No,
just straw poll right here. How many more games does Nebraska win this season? 0, 1, 2, 3.
I reserve the right to change my mind as the season progresses. I will say 1.
That's where I would lean as well.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's where I would lean as well.
I didn't know how much of a positive boy you were coming in as.
I still think there's a pretty good chance they get to a decent chance they could win 2 out of the 3. 3 seems like a whoa, what happened? Everything went that right situation, which is sort of hard to imagine. But yes, there are certain things I'm excited about with TJ Lateef being the starter. First of all, hear me out on this. And Dana Holgerson is talking right now. I think this is going to be a good thing for him.
For Holgo?
Yes.
Okay.
Holgo is starting to bother me a little bit. Holgo was not on a good list this season.
Could I proffer a theory?
Yeah, you can.
Maybe now Saturday, unique circumstances. Maybe they weren't prepared for the Tiffy package, but
right. Take that.
Maybe this quarterback is willing and able to throw it downfield in a way that the other one couldn't.
Okay, so there's that piece of it.
I know we like his ability to make plays with his legs, but what if Dylan is like, I can't do it. I can't throw the ball very far downfield. I'm a dinker and a dunker.
I look at it this way, and this goes back to a conversation that I brought up on this show in August, I think, and it was, my question will be, do they have like too many. It's sort of too many mouths to feed. But what did I say? Too many options, right? You have to pick something. You have to pick who you want to be. And I don't think they ever really found that this year. Now their hands are tied behind their back. They have no choice. TJ Lateef is your quarterback. His skill set is limited at this point, at this stage in his development. I think he'll get more comfortable as he goes along, but you have to tailor a game plan specifically for him. The thing that Raiola does is that he opens up these other doors that just previously have not been open, right? Because he can make all the throws and he can make all the reads, and you could put so much on his shoulders in theory, right? And I think where that ended up for Nebraska this year is in a really difficult place. They have to go back to the drawing board on that in the offseason and recreate an identity that works for Dylan Raiola. And I don't think it's what it ended up being this year. And so now you don't have a choice. You lose a lot of the options. You have to dumb it down. I love what Matt Rule said yesterday about everyone being better around TJ. It's not necessarily about TJ. It's about everyone being better for TJ Lateef, because that is what it is going to take.
That's good coaching too, by the way.
And so they're only going to have a certain amount of things that they feel comfortable with calling for him in these next 3 games. And maybe they'll add and whatever it is, but you get pared down a lot. And maybe, just maybe, in that pared down whatever offense that you're doing, like say what you will about Nebraska's struggles on offense when Heinrich Harburg was their quarterback and when Jeff Sims was their quarterback. I mean, Sims was a different thing because there was just so many turnovers.
He's great now.
But they knew who they were, and they could create a math equation game plan that works off of that. And they knew who they were offensively. They knew what they had to be. It was like, we're going to run it. And if that doesn't work, we'll probably have to take a shot on 3rd down. And if that doesn't, we'll have to draw something up and we'll have to punt and play defense, So they had an identity. I think they lacked one this year. And I think a part of why they lacked it is because and we're talking about it in the past tense because we're now in the post Dylan era. We're in the AD at this point.
AD.
We're in AD after Dylon.
Dylon.
Yes. After Dylon. We need a TJ.
Dylon.
No, TJ. T-fees. And so I just think while it gives you less capabilities, like you love to have options. You love to have all these doors open for you. And I think if you're Dana Holgorsen and you take over Dylan Raiola, you're like, whoa, this is awesome. We could do so many things. But I think they were doing too much. They were doing too many different things and overthinking a lot. And that's a big part of what happened against Minnesota, that and the effort and the whatever. But I think there's a good chance you could see this sort of like this refocused and recentered offense, and everybody sort of rowing the boat in the same direction to make it work for TJ Lateef. That includes offense, that includes defense, that includes special teams, that includes game planning, that includes play calling, like all that stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do now that they have this. It's almost the start of a new season. Unfortunately, you are in a stretch of the season where you have to win all of these games in order for it to feel good at the end of the year, and you're dealing with your backup quarterback, and it's November, and the weather could be wonky, not this Saturday, but the weather could be wonky at Penn State and at home against Iowa, and you're throwing a new quarterback who's getting his first start into this situation, into this cauldron, which makes it even more important that you just make it easier for him.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to do that with Dylan. They needed to make it easier for him. They needed to get the ball out of his hands quicker. They got some of that stuff rolling him out, but ultimately I think they lean on the idea that he can make all these throws and make all these reads, so they're going to put it on his shoulders. Mistake. And now you get a redo, or at least somewhat of a redo with TJ. And I'm excited for that. I think that could be good for everybody, to be honest with you.
somewhat of a homecoming. He's probably going to be very up, so to speak. You gotta calm him down with, this play, you ran this play. We're just going to do this.
Yep. So I'm excited for that piece of it. I think it'll be a good thing for Holgo the Oko. Speaking of that, let's take a phone call on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline right now from Kurt. Hey, Kurt, what's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
I don't remember Holgerson. I remember coaching, but I don't remember the quarterbacks that he had when he was at his best. But my thought is just college football and NFL is so different. NFL, they want to drop back, stand tall, quarterback, and it's predominantly in college. The quarterback that has that threat of running, that team typically seems to be better. So I guess it's a double-sided question. One, do you guys remember who Holgerson's best quarterbacks were when he was winning and what their skill set was, and how TJ, I think, can actually bring an element that other teams now have to prepare for that they never had to prepare for with Dylan?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Kurt. Appreciate it. Well, most of his successful quarterbacks have been air raid. They did not have that running capability. We're talking about I don't know when his times sort of overlap with whatever guys, but think about Oklahoma State quarterbacks, think about Houston quarterbacks, think about West Virginia quarterbacks, Gino and Whedon and Case Keenum and Graham Harrell, those guys, those are running quarterbacks, but they were what I thought they should have done this year with Dylan is turn him into more of an air raid quarterback. Doesn't mean you just go away from the run game, but they got stuck in this mixed weird halvesies air raid / power running, whatever they were trying to do. And I just think it got off track. And the offense has sputtered a little bit. And so, yes, I think this is an opportunity for Dana to have kind of a rebirth a little bit. And I understand what people are saying about having the running elements and stuff like that, but make no mistake about it. Dana Holgerson can design and develop an offense for whichever quarterback he has. I just think they need to pick a lane. And I think with TJ now, your lane is just picked for you, which I don't know, it is probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. They're trying to do too much. They're trying to do too many different things with Dylan. They got to figure that out now in the now / in the off season, because he if he's coming back next year and he wants to go pro after the 26th season,
Holgerson?
No, Dylan.
Oh,
he's got to have better stats. And he's got to look better. And so they got to make it work for him, and while also having a way to, their best route to winning football games. So, but anyway, in the right now, don't think it has to be like this season is dead thing. I think there's a lot to look forward to and a lot to like, and they do trust him at least a little bit. Off of Saturday, what we could judge off of him. Remember, that's a scramble situation. He threw it downfield a couple times. Those were one man routes from what it looked like. And then you heard Rule mention it yesterday. That play where he dropped the snap, he checked into that and was going to throw the tunnel screen to Barney, who was super open and had blockers in front of him. He just dropped the snap. I don't know if it scores or whatever, but that play is good to go. It's blocked up, and he checked into that. So clearly they believe in him in some way, shape, or form. But yes, no doubt about it. It'll be pared down for TJ, which, like I said, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. All right. We will be back. We do have a couple questions that we could get to, but also NFL reaction, overreaction coming right up on 1620 The Zone. NU Tenskers writes in on Twitter.
Hi, NU Tenskers.
At Happer Show, late arriving to the show today, but isn't this Holgerson's first year as OC? Dumbed down Satterfield's offense for DR15 for the last 4 games of the season. TJ should be more free to open the offense up. Option-based air raid? ? No, I think it's sort of the opposite. I guess that's my interpretation of what was going on with Dylan and why that wasn't exactly always clean all the time. And I think there was a lot on that plate, and now you pare it down a little bit more. But yeah, I think they'll do some different concepts that he can handle and that are better for his skill set. But I think they'll have some answers to those questions. I am mostly, you might notice that I kind of sound like a Tiffy.
You sound very positive about
I'm mostly
future.
I'm mostly excited to see what Dana Holgerson does with this. Because I still believe in him as a play caller and as an offensive coordinator and a designer of an offense. I think there's real value there, right? It's just been really tough this year. So now it is a chance for a bit of a reset with a different quarterback with a different skill set that you obviously just don't and can't trust as much.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And yeah, maybe TJ will be good in the last 3 games of the season, then we'll have a whole nother conversation in our hand.
Oh, could you imagine?
Great, exciting. All right, the takes are in from the writers. They're wondering many takes about many things. NFL reaction overreaction is here, and they're wondering why it isn't more sensational.
We'll see what they came up with. I mean, it's their own fault, right? Take number 1, Sam Darnold can win a Super Bowl.
Whoa, it's kind of sensational. That's sensational enough, right? Isn't that sensational enough?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold can win a Super Bowl. We're talking about this season with the Seattle Seahawks.
I assumed.
Yeah.
It would be
their defense is sweet.
That's what it is.
And
you'd hear Trent Dilfer's name a lot on the run up to that Super Bowl.
I don't know.
Not that Seattle's defense is that good or Sam Darnold's that bad, but people would say it.
Yeah, and then you kind of just look around at the rest of the NFC, and you know what? No, I'm going to change my answer.
Whoa.
No, he can't. He can't.
He can't.
He could get them to the same place that the Vikings were last year, though. You know?
Okay.
But you just are going to need. You're going to have to get by a lot of. He's in the NFC. But you got to get past Detroit.
Toughest division in football?
Yeah, I just probably not. Probably not. But they could win they could go 12-5 or whatever it is and be really good.
Okay.
And be scary in the playoffs. A team that I don't want to play in the playoffs. But until further notice, he's a good NFL quarterback who had a great game the other night, obviously.
He did.
He was killing
I
it.
was able to watch that.
He was on fire.
He didn't throw an incompletion in
because
the first
it was
half.
on Sunday night. Welcome to Landover, Maryland. Great jersey matchup in that game. Wow.
The Commanders.
Did you see that?
Very much in the, oh crap, we're the Washington Commanders and can't do anything.
And then old boy broke his arm. That was tough.
Boy, I had to stare at that picture longer than I care to admit to realize what was wrong.
Yep.
Like, wait, why did everyone keep sharing this picture? Oh, cool.
Yeah, not good.
Take number 2. We will see a converted 80-yard field goal or more in our lifetimes.
What a question.
Sensational.
We had a, how long? 68-yarder by Cam Little over the weekend from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
I will remind people that Denver still exists. And the kickers only seem to be getting better. We keep getting further and further. 50-yarders are no problem. 55-yarders are no problem. 57-yarders are no problem anymore. In the pros. Sometimes 52-yarders are hard in the cold.
They're hard.
Yeah, in the blackout, it's hard. It's all that stuff. Sometimes you just don't have the leg for it. But all these NFL kickers do. And so, like, if you asked generic NFL kicker to walk out there and just give me a 60-yarder right now, they'll give it to you. I bet every kicker in the NFL is capable of making a 60-yarder.
Yeah.
That was not the case 10, 15 years ago.
So
it was only the elite kickers. I just think we're going to get further and further. Sometime, it's somewhere along the way, we're going to create basically the Ivan Drago of kicking in a lab, and we're going to be kicking 80-yarders. Within the next 20 years, there's going to be an 80-yard field goal.
Now,
I think this. I really think this.
Jason Elam had a record, broke the record in 1998, and it stood until 2013. That was 63 yards. So in 27 years, we've pushed it out 5 yards.
That's a great argument, Josh.
It's
a great argument.
The writers,
but it feels like we're more
put that in the chat,
okay.
and I'm like,
okay, but longer, right? We've only gotten 5 yards longer, but every kicker is so much better now.
Yes,
there used to only be like 2 kickers.
I was initially going to agree with this take that the writers gave us, and then I said, "Well,
you don't think on a magical windy day in Denver, somebody can just slam an 80-yarder?"
I mean, I was thinking it would be possible. And then I was like, well, Jason Elam is kind of like the record I remember, sort of like with baseball numbers, like, okay, what records do we remember? I remember Jason Elam having the record for a long time. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, we really haven't pushed it out that much.
It's disorienting whenever I see a kicker on the other side of the field trying a field goal, but it's happening more and more and more these days. I don't know.
These good elite kickers in the NFL are insanely good.
Okay, let me say this then. That record, the 68-yarder that was set on Sunday, that's going down within the next 2 years.
Okay. I can meet you there.
That's going down within the next 2 years. And then we'll have a 69-yarder, and it'll be cool. Nice.
And then everybody will go
6-7.
Nobody try to break this record.
Yeah, they will do that. It is amazing that 69 has just gone away and 67 is taken over.
Right.
Now.
I mean, it's right there.
Yeah. All
right. Take number 3. Nothing to see here. The Bills just owned the Chiefs in the regular season.
Well, here's the stats you need to know. The Bills are now 5-1 against the Chiefs in the regular season in the Mahomes-Allen eras.
Mahomes-Allen 10 on Sunday.
The Bills are 0-4 against the Chiefs in the playoffs. So the question was, is this what we all expected?
Yep.
Hard to overreact to another Bills win over the Chiefs in the regular season. With that being said, I mean, the Chiefs kind of went back to being really clunky on offense, and Mahomes' completion percentage was way down in that game. But I don't know. I just think they get like the perma benefit of the doubt.
Connor,
just get them in the playoffs and see what happens.
If the season ended today, the Kansas City Chiefs would not be in the playoffs. I think they're still going to win the AFC.
I know.
With it'll be a grueling road slate.
Yeah.
And I just don't doubt them.
No, nothing to see here. I agree with this.
The Chargers don't have an O-line. They're going to fall back down to earth. Like, do we believe in Jacksonville? Like, there's just so many teams ahead of them that I'm like, nope, don't believe it.
Yep.
Take number 4. Mm-hmm. The Colts were revealed as a pumpkin.
No. They're not a pumpkin. They're not a pumpkin. They are limited as far as how good they like. The Colts aren't going to win the Super Bowl. Sorry. Breaking news.
Sorry, Peter.
Can the Colts be a really, really good regular season team that goes to the AFC Championship game? Yes. Like if everything breaks right in their way. The Steel, I will say this as well. Like, Steelers defense had a great day, and in the 2 losses the Colts have now had, they've turned it over 7 times. So like when you get that turnover variance, you're like, all right, that's correctable. And their other losses, they're really careful with the football. They had 3 turnovers against Pittsburgh. They had 7 total in their 2 losses. And I think the number in their wins is like it's like 3 or something like that. They don't turn the ball over because they're so on schedule. They're good at running the football, and Danny Dimes is just putting it in the right place. So that can continue. That you could be the Vikings of last year if you do that, and I think that's kind of what they are.
I think you would take that as a Colts fan.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you might be a little disappointed now, but
Yeah, we'll take our 12, 13 regular
preseason.
season wins, and we'll maybe have a chance to go to the AFC Championship game.
Colts, Patriots, Broncos tied atop the AFC. What year is it? It's like, 2008? Something like that. Take number 5. You cannot trust the Green Bay Packers.
Facts. Did we call this game last week? Did we say, hey, this is a scary trap game for Green Bay
Yes,
against
I believe
the Panthers?
we said something similar, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And they lost, and more importantly, they lost Tucker Kraft for the season. So no, you can absolutely not trust this team.
Doomed.
I
Just
don't know if
ask
they're going
their
to be
fans.
I don't know if they're going to be good or they're going to be bad. You might get something different on every week with these guys. But those are the type of teams with that much variance that you just can't trust when it comes to the playoffs because they could have the clunker, they could have the stinker, and so no, I cannot trust them.
Great take by you. Final take. Kyler Murray will be traded today.
It doesn't feel like Kyler Murray will be traded today, but Kyler Murray has been benched for Jacoby Brissett, and that's a real thing.
Oh, that's okay.
They just went with him last night. They just picked.
I didn't know.
They just picked Jacoby Brissett.
I didn't watch the game.
And then they beat the Cowboys. Now he's coming off of the injury, and it's like, okay, is he healthy? Is he not? But the reports later in the week was he's playing and he's ready to go. And then they just picked Jacoby Brissett instead. So, like, perfect. Now's the time to just cut bait. Now you can't put together a monumental quarterback trade in probably this span of time, unless you're really taking a bath on this, which they're going to be selling them for pennies on the dollar anyway. But
God, what do you think you could get for Kyler Murray?
I was just trying to, like, what's
a 4th round pick?
What's Kyler Murray's next stage of his career? Like, who is he somebody's backup next year, or is he a starter on an ass team, or like what is he? Is he a stat guy on a terrible team next year? Like, I don't know, because he's clearly I don't think he's the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals anymore.
Probably backup, but man, I could see him as an assy starter.
Yeah. He might be your starter next year, Josh.
Well, no, I have a quarterback, I'm told.
You definitely have a quarterback.
Slovis is their 3rd quarterback. Remember him at BYU?
Whoa, really?
Is it Keaton? Keaton Slovis?
No, he was at Caden Slovis. He was at USC. Did he transfer?
He must have transferred.
He was at
BYU on the Cardinals roster.
He was at USC and then Pitt, I think. Did he transfer after Pitt to BYU?
What a journey.
Caden Slovis.
USC, Pittsburgh, BYU. Wow.
Bang! I know my quarterbacks, Josh.
Wow.
Hike. You got to hike the ball.
You don't hike.
You got to hike the ball, Josh.
Bring yes.
That is NFL reaction. Overreaction.
Pretty sensational.
Yeah, not too bad. I thought there was a world where maybe Kyler Murray was going to get traded today. That would have been funny.
The writers really called their shot with that one, just on the chance that they were right, and I appreciate that.
By the way, we received a text from Colts fan Peterman.
Oh, Peterman, I'm sorry.
May I counter your Colts will not win the Super Bowl argument with the Colts will win the Super Bowl? You may, and you present great points.
His Thunder did win the NBA title, so he could be on one of those like Tiger Woods runs.
A Peter Heater.
Yeah, Peter. Whoa, yes, a Peter Heater.
Back with Josh's random bottom 5 coming up next. the college football playoff committee is now in session. They have left their hats ceremoniously at the door. That would include Nebraska Athletic Director Troy Dannon. If you were looking for him today, there was just a video on McAfee's show of all of the committee members leaving their hats at the door. They will rank the teams and they will come out with their rankings tonight. Now, that show, of course, on ESPN. So none of us will be watching. None of us with YouTube TV anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make it available on ESPN Plus or something like that. But
what a novel idea.
Anyway, that's what they're doing over there. Josh,
Connor,
can't wait to hear what your bottom 5 is.
God, come on. Take forever.
Now remember, this is just a bottom 5 of things. It could be anything. I don't know where you're going.
I kept it football things. I didn't know if I could stray from football.
You
It
absolutely
sounds like
can.
I can. Yeah, I'll remember that for next week, and we'll kind of expand it even further. We'll get wacky with this thing. Number 5 is Clemson football. Dabo Sweeney today, quote, "Over 17 years, I think I've done a decent job. I've sucked this year, but I'll be better." An amazing quote.
He's played the card of like, oh, I might get fired like a lot this year.
Yeah. Almost daring them. Tigers falling to 3-5 after a 46-45 loss to Duke, allowing an 11-play, 94-yard game-winning drive that ran 4.5 minutes off the clock.
What's up with these teams, man? Who are so I mean, Clemson's pretty talented. Penn State's pretty talented. Just getting, I mean, we're talking about just barely scraping to make bowl games.
Yeah.
If that. I mean, Penn State might not make a bowl game.
Clemson and Penn's, I understand the mental aspect of like, whoa, we're shell-shocked that the season hasn't gone the way we thought it would, but you were still talented enough to where people were like, that's a playoff team. That might even be a national championship.
But once that goes out the window, then all bets are off.
I know.
You just don't know if anybody's going to show up anymore.
Obviously, Penn State has a quarterback injury on top of all that, but still interesting. All right, bottom 5 football things. Number 4. The good teams in the NFC North. We discussed the Packers losing to the Panthers. They've lost to the Panthers, Browns, and tied the Cowboys, by the way. That's they're in a very good spot still. That's a resume. My God.
Noticing.
And the Lions lost to J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings? J.J. McCarthy?
I don't really know what to do with that.
Justin Jefferson scored a touchdown. He doesn't do that anymore.
That's right. Yeah. He had competent quarterback play on Sunday, though. JJ was all right.
JJ was all right.
Maybe that fake ankle injury really paid off.
I mean, the Bears managed to win a game. The why can't I remember the 4th team in that division? Oh, the 2 of them played each other. That's why.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting.
We're
goings
noticing. On.
We're noticing things.
Got my eye on you, NFC North.
3. Combination of 3 and 5.
Number 3.
The Bengals defense. Jamar Chase is going to murder someone. And when I say that, I don't mean like, I'll kill you. I think he might murder someone. They've wasted a Joe Flacco 470-yard performance where the offense scored 42 points the week after giving the Jets 39 points and their only win of the year. The Bengals have scored 80 points combined over their last 2 games and have no wins to show for it.
Yeah, they are bad at defense. But Jamar Chase should be happy about this. I don't know why Jamar Chase is so mad all the time. I know Jamar Chase wants to win, but no, there's no better stats guy in the NFL right now, empty stats guy, than Jamar Chase.
You know,
I mean, maybe CeeDee Lamb. Like Jamar Chase, if you drafted Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb like 1 and 2 in your fantasy drafts this year, that was a lot of that was the common thing. Jamar Chase, then CeeDee Lamb, or no, not CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was in the top 5, but those 2 guys who are playing on teams with horrific defenses, If you are a fantasy owner of one of those two players, then you are feeling really good probably right now. There's a good chance you're feeling all right.
I mean, a lot of wide receivers will get in front of a camera after a game and tell you how much they want to win, but they don't really mean it. I believe this man when he says he wants to win.
Yeah, I know.
He's walking through the halls of the stadium. One stop.
Yeah. But you know those wide receivers, they just want their stats.
Well, he could have had both.
Yeah.
Here comes two.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Auburn.
Oh, boy.
Thinking they can get a quality coach in this hiring cycle.
I know they have a lot. I haven't really checked up on the Auburn message boards or whatever, but I'm sure they think a lot about the things that they can do with this opportunity to hire a football coach.
Yeah.
And that none of them are happening.
They're going to quickly be shocked where they rank in the hierarchy of college football with Florida, LSU, Penn State hiring coaches as well.
There's got to be one of those circles that we could do. It's like, you know, Penn State or not Penn State. Auburn fires coach. Auburn thinks that they're going to hire the greatest coach in the cycle. The next step is Auburn hires like up and coming group of 5 coach or Power 5 retread or coordinator, not the hot coach in the cycle. Auburn is then in the preseason, someone says Auburn is really, really talented and then like ranks them in the top 10, which they are. Like Auburn, or somebody says like Auburn's a great job. And then like 3 years go by and they go 7-5 and then the same thing happens again. It's just the circle.
With a "You Are Here" sticker. Do they have a guy picked out, or are they about to drop a stupid amount of cash and overpay?
Probably a little both.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's almost Auburn is just an interesting school to me because
oh man, they are the weirdest school.
Yeah, they're
100%.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to see what happens.
So much talent, so much ability to do, to win, but such a difficult environment, no established base whatsoever. And your history is random championship years.
Random championships.
Yeah.
But God, it's so much
possibility.
fun when they're I don't want to say good,
it
but
is
like,
scintillating.
Yeah.
It is like, oh my God, this is incredible. I could be that. Gene Chizik won a national championship.
They
Gene Chizik.
Moments before the Iron Bowl kicks off, when Auburn has even the slightest chance of beating Alabama, oh, it's fun.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yep. Them being a disaster is just one of those things. You just have to bake it in.
Yeah,
to the
it's
sport.
going to happen.
It's part of the deal.
Every 2 of 5 years, right? Something like that. All right. Number 1 thing.
Oh, there's a Brendan Fraser movie
I
coming
just
out?
saw that. I had no idea what this is.
Look at that. Rental Family.
Make it so, number 1.
Huh.
Number 1.
It didn't look good.
I'll see it on TikTok in 2 months.
Number 1 is YouTube TV. Bleep those guys.
Absolutely.
Bleep Disney. I'll blame you both. I don't care. I don't care whose fault it is.
Yeah, I don't care either.
I don't care.
Just give it back.
I read last night that YouTube TV Disney said, could you put ABC on for a night? Because today is election day in other places of the world.
Yeah, it's like pretty important.
Yeah. They're like, could you just put the election coverage on ABC? And YouTube TV said, no, we're not doing that. Because then they'll wake up Wednesday morning and wonder where their ABC is. We don't want to confuse the customers.
People forget about the original point of broadcast television, which is to inform the audience. And yeah, we have gone way, way past that. Yeah, YouTube TV, absolute screwed job.
Yeah.
Bad stuff.
I don't care whose fault it is. You're both gonna bone me and raise your prices.
Yeah, and I'm probably not even going to get the $20. You can't even give me the $20 credit. They're not going to give me the $20 credit.
Nah.
I don't care about the $20 credit. I don't need the $20 credit. I just want to be acknowledged in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to give it to me. They're not going to acknowledge me. It's just going to come back one day and everyone will forget about this and move on with their lives until next quarter, somebody else is in a carriage dispute with YouTube TV because it happens 4 times a year now.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the 3rd one of these of the football season.
Yep.
And First time we missed a game.
Awful
on it. Yeah.
Awful. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
Well-deserved bottom five. All those things badly. 1 o'clock hour coming up next. We can talk a little bit about those playoff rankings.
Playoffs?
Yeah. The playoff rankings are coming out tonight.
A lot of people going to learn that Memphis is pretty good tonight.
We are back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, welcome back. 1 o'clock hour, the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. If we make it to 145, that's the plan.
Whoa, why would we not?
Well,
Do you know something?
You never know what happens.
Okay.
If we make it to 145, we will have made it through a guestless show for the first time in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job by us. But we do love to still hear from the callers. The callers aren't guests, but, you're just stopping by, popping in for a sandwich. And that's why we like to head to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. We'll do that right now. And that's where we find Mike this afternoon. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling. What's up?
Good afternoon, guys. Hey, that YouTube, TV, and Disney and ESPN all kind of sounds familiar with our government, don't it? And it doesn't matter what side you're on; it's silly.
Yep, it's tough.
But anyway, now here is the real reason I called. This blackout thing that we did Saturday night that everybody was all excited and it's the best thing in the world and everything. Well, you know what? I liked it for the most part, but to me, the uniforms look like Oreo cookies, should have been black and red. But the biggest thing that was wrong with it, why in the hell do we copy off of our rival and come out to back in black? Seriously? We can't do something better than that? Something that Iowa's been doing forever? Can't we freaking come out to, I don't know, Avenged Sevenfold, something Metallica, for whom the bell tolls, or whatever, something. Why do we copy our freaking neighbors to the freaking east? Stupid. It just drives me crazy. Why did we do that?
Wow,
I
Mike.
gotta live over here. I gotta live over here, guys. I hear that all the time. Oh, you're copying us now. Now you gotta copy us now, huh? And you can't even win.
Mike, where in Iowa do you live, Mike?
I live up around Carroll, Iowa.
Up around Carroll, Iowa. So you're surrounded by Hawks fans?
Well, no, Iowa State too.
Okay.
Iowa State fans are pretty cool. I don't have any problem with them. They're pretty cool.
Okay.
But this hockey, why? Come up with something different than what. Don't copy your rival. That's just silly. Other than that, the stadium looked awesome. It really did. The crowd was great. That's awesome. But I mean, don't come out to back in black. Don't copy your rival. Silly.
All right. Thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. This is a great topic for right now. This is an excellent topic because I would have forgotten about this topic had Mike just not mentioned it.
The blackout?
No, we talked about like blackout was awesome. So I didn't know that Iowa came out to back in black literally until Saturday night.
Oh.
Until the Iowa people started yelling about it. Like, oh my God, they copied us. What's that?
I'm Austin Butler.
So let me say this. I actually disagree with the song choice, but not because it has anything to do with Iowa. I thought they could have gone for something. I thought they were going for something more like epic and cinematic and like, that something that kind of builds. Like there was options for you. They were teasing the paint it black all week. Yeah, they were doing that all week. Why didn't they just do that? So I don't have explicit knowledge of like what, because I wasn't in the stadium on Saturday night, but that would
you were
not
banned as well.
I believe I could have gone.
Okay.
That was, I guess I didn't try, but I believe I could have gone. It's just not the song, just not the right song. And Nebraska has been using that song to walk out on defense for like, I don't know, ever since the black shirts exist. Like it's the black shirts. So I understand. And trust me, coming from a guy who lived in Iowa, for a period of time and was surrounded by Iowa fans, and I understand. Keep fighting the good fight. It's a battle. It's really, really hard to be surrounded by Iowa fans. I go to Dubuque every summer. I subject myself to a bunch of Iowa fans. They have no idea. They have no idea what's going on. Nor do we have any idea of what's going on with them, which is why that, I'm sure, was not even considered or thought about when Nebraska chose the song Back in Black to walk out to on Saturday night.
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
I guarantee you
it didn't come up.
I could send a text. Everybody's doing sources these days. So hold on.
Careful. I want you to be able to go to work in the next women's basketball game.
That's true. No, so I don't think this was ever thought about or considered. And like I said, I genuinely had no idea that Iowa felt, number one, that Iowa came out to that song. And number two, Iowa felt that strongly about the song that they were like, well, Nebraska. I don't know if they were mad that Nebraska, they felt like Nebraska couldn't do it, or they were just like, ha, 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 you guys are copying off of us. I get the sense it was more of that sort of mocking than it was like, you can't do this. This is our song. But shout out to Mike. I mean, he was passionate about it. So that's good.
I liked Mike's call. I want the best from Mike.
So do you agree with Mike? What's up with the song?
No, I didn't. I didn't think of it until Saturday night.
Did you know that Iowa used that song?
Gosh, I guess not.
I genuinely did not. I never have known what Iowa has ever done. The only thing that I've known that Iowa has done is they all lock arms when they come out and they call it the swarm. I didn't know that they played. I didn't know that they played Back in Black during that period of time. So I'm sorry.
Now we know.
Now we know. Never do it again.
It'll be different next time.
That's a good point from Matt on the Twitter. Nebraska should have come out to that Chicago Bulls song. LOL. That's right. Nebraska's song that they've been using since the 90s as a Tunnel Walk song was stolen from the Chicago Bulls.
What?
Yeah. I know it's shocking to a lot of people. Joel says they should have done something totally originally and not overdone it like Timmy Trumpet again. Yeah. We didn't talk about this either. Did you know that I didn't know that was going to happen either. For the Northwestern game, they played the, but they had the actual guy with the trumpet down there.
Yeah, they had the guy.
Where do they get these ideas? I got to send a text. Like I said, what's going on?
Do they need someone younger or hipper, or is it?
No, it's a lot of young people. It's the people who are making these decisions are it's a lot of young people.
And I guess you are limited because you need
Younger
someone who's
people.
willing to come to Lincoln, Nebraska.
That's true.
So you can't just be like, hey, let's get Brad Pitt to like drive an F1 car onto the field.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool.
They should do that.
They
Troy
should
Dannon,
have to promote.
I heard you like spending money.
Yeah.
So
it would cost a lot of money.
I think get Brad Pitt to show up with like an F1 car and drive it out onto the field. By the way, one more NFL trade. The Jets are dismantling everything.
Sellers.
They are trading Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, according to Tom Pelissero. Damn. So are they trading him for that pick that they got for the Micah Parsons deal? Let's see.
Jerry told y'all yesterday.
New York gets a 26 first rounder. So I would assume that's the pick that they got for the Micah thing, or one of them anyway. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Back in Black. Back in Black is no good around here. I didn't know that. I really didn't. I didn't know that Nebraska wasn't allowed to do that because Iowa owns the AC/DC song. But like I said, I thought Nebraska should have done something completely, different and a little bit more unique. They could have produced their own song and it would have been fine.
Yeah, it could have been, royalty free.
But how was it for people who were there? Like, how was it? How did you like it? Did you
hit?
Did you like the thunder? Because it looked awesome on TV. It looked so good on TV. It was so well done. And I like the jerseys, by the way. I do not think they look like Oreo cookies.
That didn't come to mind, but he said that, and I said, "Oh, okay, I see your point."
Yeah, I don't
agree.
I think as a society, we're probably, as a Nebraska society, we're over this, right? The whole
over what?
The alternate jerseys and it's okay. Enough.
It's what Matt Rule said. You want to wear them, you got to win.
Not really.
I mean, you don't have to because they don't.
They don't. They don't win in red either. They don't win in white. They don't win in black. They don't win in alternate jerseys. They don't win. So why not look cool? That was over dramatic. So the Twitter people are going to come after me.
Simplistic.
Yes, but no, you do what you think is the coolest and will get people fired up for the environment. And there's no doubt that what Nebraska put together for Saturday night had an actual legitimate impact on the way that their team played and the game itself. It did. It was a pro. And then to come back afterwards in a game where Nebraska lost their starting quarterback in the third quarter of a game against the top 25 team and to say that they lost because they wore black uniforms. Give me a break. Give me a break. You guys don't even believe that. I know you don't. Oh, but I get the heebie-jeebies every time they put on any color that's not red or white with red pants. You guys need to get over it. All right. How many traditions have gone out the window over the years? All of them.
Bowl streak. Well, there's one.
Now is a great time. There's one sellout streak that's left. And now is a great time to do some different things. It's part of the reason why I've always been mildly bullish on Nebraska basketball as a program. They are Nebraska, and they have all the resources that you get from a place like Nebraska, but they are not beholden to tradition. They get to create their own identity through winning and through whatever style of basketball they want to play, and they obviously have a built-in great home court environment. I've always thought the potential of Nebraska basketball is a lot higher than anybody around here cares to think about, but that's my own opinion. So now that Nebraska is untethered from all of these traditions because they've lost so much over the last 10 years, why not just embrace something a little different? We were talking to young Matt this morning. He's just out of college, and he was talking about how JoJo Doman is his favorite player. Do you want to hear that? No. You have to create new memories for these people so that they stay around instead of saying JoJo Doman is my favorite player, and I am forced to talk about Husker football, and that's why I talk about them. JoJo Doman.
That happened.
In his top 5.
I'm not, and Matt is probably listening. I'm not laughing at you, Matt. I'm
He's probably
laughing
coming
at
back from the
Lego store.
Yeah.
I'm mad at the circumstances you were given.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. So why not make it cool? And I got no problem with that. Kent says the tunnel walk was good. Could have been a tad better / more original. Atmosphere and stadium were absolutely legendary. Probably one of the best games I've been a part of, and I've been going to games since 1987. Think about that.
87.
They've done a lot of winning since Kent's been going to games.
That's right. Maybe Kent's got to go.
All right, another phone call on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Oh, look, another Nebraska fan in Iowa. Here's Nathan. Hi, Nathan.
Oh, my gosh. I just had to throw in here and say I live in the same world as – was Mike? It was Mike,
It was
right?
Mike, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Once the Black and Black came out, my text thread of my buddies were like, oh, yeah, here we go. Now Nebraska wants to be Iowa, wearing all black. And then they throw in, well, and Iowa State wants to be the same way. Iowa State dresses in black. You know what, Iowa fan? Go sit on a log. Give me a break. It's so old.
Nathan, thank you for the
That's
call.
all I
Okay,
appreciate
it.
This is the case every day
Go
on this show.
sit on a log? What year was Nathan born in? When is that an insult from, Josh? Were they saying that in the 20s?
The 50s?
Go sit on a log? What does that mean?
Poll question up at Happer Show. Go sit on a log as an insult, good or bad?
Go sit on a log. I do feel bad for the people who have to live amongst this filth every day, but this is this is the cross that I suppose you have to bear as a Nebraska fan who lives in Iowa. It's hard. It's very difficult. We have to deal with it a lot here in Omaha. A lot of Iowa people. All of a sudden your text threads are like, I like how we call it a text thread, like Bill Simmons. My text threads are lighting up. Oh, here we go. Nebraska trying to be like Iowa. I like that.
You can just hear it too. You can just, ugh.
I know.
And I feel for them.
All right, couple takes here from the text line. Pedro.
Hi, Pedro.
Hi, guys. James Brown. I'm black and I'm proud. Agreed, Pedro. Agreed.
Probably made the short list, but ultimately they went a different way.
Rob says this. Is the university so scared of the olds that we can't use music released after 1986?
Great question.
I feel like that environment was for the youngs.
Yeah.
It was for the youths on Saturday.
That's what Will Compton said in his hype speech.
Oh, really? What did we'll give me some highlights on that one. Give me some bullet points.
Oh,
I didn't watch any of the videos because all the videos are just.
No, my hype speech.
I thought you said that's what Will Compton said.
That's what I said. It's not what I meant. Though.
So
that's on me.
Here's just a quick take, real quick. Every time I see the Will Compton speech, I can't watch it because I'm not I've only seen it live in the stadium once this year, and they don't I don't know if does Nebraska put it out as like a file? They put it out on video because they really should. Because elsewhere, I'm just reduced to watching videos of video on the big screen all the way across the stadium, and then the people next to you saying like, hey, can you pass me down that hot dog or something like I don't want to watch your crappy phone videos
Random.
from the damn stadium. I don't want to watch it. I don't care how good you think it is.
Great
I don't
take.
care how cool of an experience it is for you. I'm not watching your damn crap phone videos. I'm not watching them.
I mean, I know there's only one home game left, but yes, please release the file.
Release the file. Maybe they do, and I just don't see it.
A lot of people asking for a lot of files to be released. This one is doable.
From the 402?
I-402.
I didn't know and don't really care what Iowa uses. I don't care. I saw it live in Lincoln in 1980. Oh, you saw AC/DC do Back of Black in 1980. That's cool. Here's Tom on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Connor. I was there on Saturday night. It was awesome. And Back in Black was great as the Tunnel Walk song. I despise all things Iowa, and I could give a rat's bottom if Iowa uses that song. Actually, I didn't even know that they used that song. As much as I love the song Paint It Black, it is not a pump-up Tunnel Walk type of song, although we did play it and sing after the third quarter. Iowa's wave tradition is very cool, but any college that had a stadium with a view of a children's hospital would do the exact same thing. Love the show, Tom in Omaha. Wow. Denigrating the wave. This rivalry is real. This rivalry is real and serious.
I mean, there's got to be some young people that have made a song with black in the title. Yes.
Yes. Almost certainly.
Okay.
We named a lot of them in that crossover that one day. Jana writes in.
Jana?
No, sorry. Jana.
Hi, Jana.
I second what Nathan said, except sitting on a log. I'm born and raised Husker and live in Des Moines. Go Ducks beat the Hawks. Iowa, Oregon this weekend. Yep. So I'm familiar. There's a lot of people who live east of the Missouri River who are Husker fans, and they just got to hear it constantly, all the time.
I was listening to
imagine how triggered the Iowa fans who live here are. That's probably why they're so idiotic.
Whoa.
That's probably why they're so weird, because they constantly have to listen to Nebraska fans telling them about stuff that happened in the 90s.
I can imagine that gets annoying.
I would be pissed. If I was an Iowa fan who lived in Nebraska, I'd be the most mad person on planet Earth, actually. Poll question. If you were an Iowa fan that lived in Nebraska, would you be perpetually triggered?
If you were an Iowa fan.
Yep.
Living in Nebraska.
Yep. Would you be perpetually triggered?
Okay.
I would be. All right, we're back after this on 1620 The Zone. Oh boy, the college football playoff rankings come out tonight. We would have spent an entire show on this had Nebraska won on Saturday.
Oh, wow, really?
Because Nebraska would be in there.
They'd be flirting.
They would be in the spot of USC right now, which is, if there is going to be a fourth Big Ten team in the playoff, we're not talking about tonight. We're talking about at the end of the day. If there is going to be a fourth Big Ten team in the playoff, right now it'd be USC, and it would, or maybe it would be like, let's play this out. Nebraska won on Saturday. They're 7-2. Are they ahead of? I'm going to just name some teams. Are they ahead of Iowa? With the win over USC. I believe the answer to that question is yes.
Is Nebraska over or is USC over?
Nebraska, had they won Saturday.
Okay.
Had they won Saturday.
I mean,
yes. What's the pause?
Well, they'd be 4-2. They'd be half a game behind Iowa.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the playoff rankings.
Oh.
Playoff rankings.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Would they be viewed favorably to Michigan?
Probably not.
Michigan also 7-2, lost to USC kind of badly for the record, and lost to Oklahoma kind of badly for the record as well. Michigan quality wins against just Washington at this point, and then Nebraska. So the tiebreaker would be, well, Michigan beat Nebraska.
That's kind of where my head went.
And then there's Washington. So Michigan has the tiebreaker in their back pocket in that situation of having beaten Washington and Nebraska. So they're probably the platform team at that point as the fourth. But it's USC as of right now because they beat Michigan. You still have Iowa, Michigan, and Wisconsin in the mix, I think, for the Big Ten. But it's really just going to be one. There's going to be one more team. Of course, we're talking about on top of Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. So here's a question. Nebraska, we always like to tie it back to Nebraska. Nebraska related, playoff related. Cincinnati still in the mix for the playoffs, even though they got bludgeoned.
Yikes.
Tough, but they are still in the mix to go to the Big 12 championship game, so they're still in the mix to go to the college football playoff. Michigan still in the mix. USC still in the mix. Minnesota, of course, not in the mix. So are you looking like it does make a little bit of a difference from a narrative perspective at the end of the year. Who you beat, who you lose to.
Definitely.
And then you actually have the hindsight of the entire season to look back on and say, oh wow, I could really you know what? I could kind of swallow 8-4.
That turned into a good win.
I could really swallow 8-4 with a Michigan loss, a USC loss, both of which ranked in the top 25. The Minnesota one is always going to be a tough one. And then, I don't know, Iowa at the end of the year. All three of those teams, not named Minnesota, are going to be in the top 25. And hell, Minnesota might be in the top 25 at the end of the year. So for all the consternation about, oh, Nebraska's not going to play any top 25 teams, the schedule is so easy all year long. Like, I just think it's a really, really skewed way to look at things. Wouldn't you agree that's because if
Nebraska's had troubles with everybody.
If you are viewing this season, and I'm not trying to let Nebraska off the hook or anything like that, or make it harder for them than it sounds, but like, if you are viewing through this season through the prism of this schedule is easy and they hardly played any top 25 teams, the only two top 25 teams they played so far this year at the time of playing them were USC and Michigan. And they were both 20 plus in the rankings, 21 and 23. If you are viewing it, and then maybe they don't play a ranked team the rest of the way. UCLA is not going to be one. Penn State's not going to be one. Iowa probably will be one. but we'll see. They're probably still in the 20s at that point. If you pull it apart at the end of the year, you're like, oh my goodness, Nebraska played 3 ranked teams all at home and lost all 3 of those games by a score or less than a score. But if you're viewing the season through the prism of like, oh, we only played 3 ranked teams, this is a gigantic missed opportunity, it warps your view over everything. I just like to put it as like they're going to be in these close games and they have to win them more often than they don't. It is obviously a very unfortunate byproduct, especially recently in the Rule era, where he has not been able to get over the hump against top 25 teams, but most of them have been 1-score games. There's only been, if you go back, I suppose I could, Nebraska 2023 schedule, like Rule's ranked games have, I'll list them because there's been 8 of them so far. They got beat by Colorado good in the first year. They got beat by Michigan good in the first year. They lost to Iowa by a field goal in the first year of Rule. Second year, lost to Illinois in overtime, ranked team, blasted by Indiana. So we're currently at 3 disasters and 2 1-score losses. Another 1-score loss to Ohio State last year. And then, so we're at 6 and then the 2 this year, both 1-score losses. So 5 out of the 8 top 25 losses for Rule, he's 0-8 in top 25 games at Nebraska. 5 out of the 8 have been 1 score or less. 1 score pretty much encapsulates all that. So I think that's something to think about. Not to sit here and say, oh well, the program's definitely headed in the right direction. Like whatever. Like, I think we do oftentimes make sweeping generalizations about like, we are including some of the history here that doesn't necessarily belong to Rule, and that's probably not exactly fair to him. Anyway, if you view the fact that Nebraska has a really, really easy schedule, if you view the season through that lens, then yeah, you're probably going to be disappointed at the end of the year. But it's very possible that Nebraska's season could end up with a win against the top 25 team at the end of the year, and then 3 close losses to top 25 teams, at least one of which is going to be a playoff team when you include Iowa, USC, and Michigan into that situation. So something to think about.
Probably should have won that game over the weekend.
Great take, Josh. Great take, Josh. So we'll see how the rankings turn out tonight. Ohio State and Indiana on a collision course for Indianapolis. And we'll see who wins that game. They'll get the number 1 seed likely in the playoff. Unless, of course, Michigan beats Ohio State, which is very, very possible. And Texas A&M going to be sitting right there near the top. Alabama going to be the top 1-loss team. Looks like we're going to talk about Oregon here in just a second, so we'll get to that. Texas Tech is your likely Big 12 favorite and representative at this point. And then there's going to be a lot of conversation starting this week with all these 2-loss SEC teams. And why aren't the 2-loss Big 10 teams closer to the conversations? Or hell, the 2-loss Big 12 teams, for that example. And so I can't wait to talk about that. Let's take a phone call on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Here's Notre Dame Andy. Hi, Notre Dame Andy.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Hey, I was just listening to the conversation here on Oregon. I know you guys had them as a lock. I would go back and look at their wins. Not too strong right now. And then they've got obviously Iowa and USC coming up. So my opinion, they're not a lock, but I can see where they slot in right now, but they've got some work to do in my opinion.
Yeah, no, you're right.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Andy. Appreciate it. You're right. I mean, they're the meat of their schedule is coming up in November. Iowa, Minnesota, USC, and Washington. I think they're better than all those teams. I could see them losing to USC. I could probably see them losing to Washington too, but I think I could see them losing to Iowa, I guess, as well. But like you're right in the idea that their resume and the strength of it is coming up in November. That's a really tough November for sure. But right now, like I think Andy understands like why they're slotted in where they're slotted in.
I mean, but right
they have
now,
one loss. It's to Indiana.
Their best win is irrevocably breaking Penn State.
Correct. Broken beyond repair,
Yes.
Josh. Broken beyond repair. Unless you want to, unless you want to count that Northwestern win on. Nobody goes to the lacrosse field by the lake and wins by 20. Oregon did it this year. So yes, if they lose one of those four, they're still going to be in the conversation. If they lose two, they're obviously not. If they win them all, they're going to be, a lock and guaranteed in. They're in a good spot because if Ohio State and Indiana continue down the road that they're on and they both go undefeated, they're not going to go to the Big Ten championship game. They don't have to play that week, and they still make the playoff anyway. So
I believe at this point
they're good. They just can't lose two.
Oregon, a brand that would get the benefit of the doubt at the end.
Two losses, depending on who the losses are to and who the wins.
Let them in.
Are if they lose one more, I'm sorry, they already have one loss. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll get to the polls. We'll tell you what to watch on the other side. It is the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But fast breaks, buzzer beaters, block parties, they're all back. Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. You can make picks and win money right now in the state of Nebraska. Trust me, playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower. Stat categories like points, rebounds, steals, and more. You get those picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So take a look at whatever you'd like. Nightly in basketball, it is all there for you. Individual player stat categories, simple, higher or lower. Pair those things together, and you can multiply that payout as well. Download the app and use that's the Underdog app, by the way, and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. All right, excited for the show tomorrow. We got I Have an Opinion. We got Mitch. We got Robin. We got Frank. Yeah, man. Anthony Tolliver. Kyle Korver.
Frank's back.
Big East basketball. We're going to go in depth, We're going to ask him what he thinks about that that depth on the wing. You know, where did they go? How much Blake Harper? How much Hudson Greer? How much are we going to see of these guys?
This guy knows his ball.
All right, to the polls at Happer show. Did we have some before this? Yes, we had one. Oh yeah, what's harder, making a bowl game, making the NCAA tournament, or they're the same thing? They're the same thing is my answer. 61% say making the NCAA tournament. 33% said they're the same thing. I believe they're the same thing. And then, of course, 6% said making a bowl game. Are Iowa State fans pretty cool? Yeah.
I think so.
Their jerseys are garbage. What are they doing?
They hate their team colors.
Yeah, but the rebrand thing that they did with the Cyclones, Walmart looking ass jerseys, those are horrible. Those are horrible. Bad. 62% say no, they are not pretty cool. Go sit on a log as an insult, good or bad? That's good. That's a good insult. 52% say bad. If you were an Iowa fan living in Nebraska, would you be perpetually triggered? Yeah. I think you would be. I think you most certainly would be. By the way, we got an email from before. It was another example of a person who had lived in here we go. It's Dave. Dave says on the text line,
hi, Dave.
Or an Iowa fan living in Iowa that only gets Omaha stations.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
He says
that could be a problem.
He
as
says
well,
crying Dave Weber and Ross Jernstrom always made me smile, still reveling in how Frost turned out and how Fat Drool is currently doing. Sincerely, Dave sitting on a log somewhere in Iowa.
Well written. I do think you need a new nickname for Nebraska's current head coach.
Fat Drool.
He's taking care of the first part.
All right. What about the drool part? Anyway, what do we got, Josh? What are we watching tonight?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That's on my phone. We're watching the college football tonight. There's plenty of it.
No, we're not. It's probably all on ESPN. The ESPN family of networks.
I mean, the royal we. First playoff rankings revealed at 7:00.
Can't watch it.
We'll get to what's on after that. But UMass.
By the way, I'm mostly going to watch a selection show anyway. I never do.
UMass and Akron, 6:00 on CBS Sports Network.
Okay, can watch that.
Got the Battle of the Bricks tonight on ESPN2. You can't watch that. 6:00. Miami of Ohio is at Ohio. NBA on NBC. What a great picture they have over there. Magic Hawks in Atlanta at 7:00 tonight. And then here in the Central Time Zone, we flip it over to Peacock at 10 for Thunder Clippers.
It's easier for me to watch my Peacock than ESPN these days.
That's true.
Sickening.
College basketball. Ever heard of it? Evansville at number 1 Purdue, 5:30 on BTN.
Whoa. The Purple Aces are back?
It was a different logo than I'm used to, so I don't know if
Did they rebrand?
Maybe they had a rebrand, or if it's a different. If it's like a ULE 27 Evansville.
Who's broadcasting that game?
BTN. Oh, I don't know which bodies, which humans.
I need to know. We can tell them about Colt Ryan.
Texas at number 6 Duke at 7:45 on ESPN, following the college football playoff rankings reveal. Makes perfect sense to me.
Totally.
Hawaii, Oregon, 9:30 on BTN. Hockey doubleheader on TNT. Hurricanes, Rangers at 6, followed by Lightning, Avalanche at 8:30.
Josh.
Connor.
You know, you like to hate on basketball.
Aspects of basketball, yes.
But, you know, you love when crazy stuff happens. You love a changing of the guard. And I bet on your what to watch last night, you did not have Boise State basketball versus Hawaii Pacific on what to watch. But it just goes to show you that you never know what you might see. You might see Boise State, a powerful Mountain West program over the last decade plus, lose to a Division II school from Hawaii on opening night on their home floor. You never know.
Yep.
You never know.
It is the Purple Aces tonight.
So going forward, Josh, I would just like you to include every single college basketball game on what to watch tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'd still be reading the ones from yesterday.
There's a lot of them. Everybody played yesterday. And tomorrow is Jay's game day.
Game day. Honk, honk.
That's it for us today. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is coming up next.